Broussard versus D'Alessandro. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Broussard, this young lady used to be your landlord.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she embarked upon a course of conduct of harassment, filing false restraining orders against you, ultimately evicting you from the place where you had lived for some period of time. You want to be compensated for that.
Right.
And Ms. D'Alessandro said everything that she said was in her applications were true, and you were a terrible tenant. You also have a claim against her for slander. You say that when you ultimately applied to other apartments to rent, and they called her to verify your tenancy, she said bad things about you, so it made it virtually impossible for you to get another apartment.
That's correct.
Now, I gather, Mr. Broussard, that you lived in this house. It was a house?
She lived in the house up front. I lived in an apartment in the back.
And you had lived there prior to Miss D'Alessandro moving in because a relative of hers owned the house, and you were the relative's tenant.
Right.
Who was the relative?
My mother.
And what was her name?
Loretta Wallace.
When did you first move into this apartment in the back?
It was approximately 7 years ago.
Did Loretta Wallace ever bring eviction proceedings against you?
Never.
When for the first time did you file notice to quit or pay against the plaintiff?
That would have been in early October 2003.
What happened?
After I had received title to the house, or during the time the transfer was going on, I was in the process of sort of getting my ducks in the row to start making renovations on the apartment building.
What apartment building?
There's the house in the front is where I live. There's a 3-unit apartment building at the rear of the property. And
you live in one of those units?
Right.
Go ahead.
Everything was going smoothly as far as I was concerned, and I had actually started to make renovations in one of the other apartments and had told Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend, I said, look, you know, I'm going to be doing the same thing to your unit at some point very soon, and, you know, just to let them know what was going on and that I didn't forget about them.
When you were making the renovations in the other unit, where were the tenants in the other unit?
That unit was vacant, and the renovations were very extensive.
Go ahead.
So at the end of September, I was at home and I was watering the lawn, and Mr. Broussard came and knocked on my screen door and was complaining about the fact that water was getting on his girlfriend's car. And I told him, I said, you know what, just a minute, I'm on the phone, I'll be with you as soon as I can. He insisted, and he became belligerent, and I stepped outside of the kitchen because I was going to go to the back and simply turn the water off just to get him off of my back. And then he engaged in this verbal tirade in my face so close that he started to spit on me. And it was at that time, it was like, okay, you know what, that's it. You know, I had to do what I felt I needed to do in order to ensure my personal safety, because I was living on the property at the same time, and I didn't feel comfortable with him being there anymore, let alone the fact that he and his girlfriend were going to have to move anyway because I was going to have to gut the unit to renovate it.
Got it?
Got it.
I didn't have any problems with them, and neither
Let me
did my
ask you this
mother.
question, sir. You want to give me your version of what happened?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
On that date in
Part
October?
of that was true. She did have the sprinklers up real high, and she was home. I went and knocked on the door. I said, Maria, you're soaking our cars. And she looked at me and she said, well, you should have moved them, and slammed the door in my face. And I was shocked. I guess I was holding the screen door, and I must have closed it too hard, and I really upset her. Next thing I know, she comes flying out the door, getting in my face. Now, she's a woman, challenging me as if she's a man. We exchanged a few words, a few unpleasantries, I won't lie about that. But I never put my hands on her, and I called myself, so you know what? Let me get away from her before she says I did something to her, before somebody sees me arguing with a woman. As I'm walking away, her boyfriend comes flying up, and I'm walking away going to my house. He comes and gets in my face, and he says, well, basically, Derek, you and Denise have to move. I said, who are you? He said, that's my girlfriend.
Would you stand up straight, please?
I said, well, this doesn't concern you. I said, I can stay here as long as I want to. You don't have anything to do with this property or this matter. I said, get out of my face. So I turned and I walked in the house. And me knowing her, the type of person she is, I knew she was going to do something treacherous, you know, by the 1st of the month. We decided we're going to make sure this rent is due exactly on the 1st. I don't want any funny business with her. Well, we paid our rent on the 1st. She accepted the rent. I have a canceled check. I have a receipt.
Can I see it, please? Ms. D'Alessandro, did you speak to an attorney before you decided that Mr. Broussard and his girlfriend were going to have to move so that you can do renovations?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And did the attorney tell you that you can't have them move Just because you decided to do renovations on their unit?
No, he did not.
He should have.
Well, and that
He
was
should have.
Ma'am, that was not the reason why I proceeded with the eviction proceedings against
Oh, yes,
Mr.
it was.
Broussard.
Just
No,
a
it
second.
was not.
Oh, yeah, it was.
No, it was not.
The coincidence of you renovating one apartment and then saying to me a moment ago, and he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to totally gut his apartment. Oh, no, he wasn't.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oh,
but that
no,
was
he
not
wasn't.
the reason why I filed for
Oh,
eviction
no,
against him.
that's
It was
the
not.
exact reason, because that's what the lawyer probably told you.
No, he did not
There has
tell
to
me
be a
that.
reason for you. Miss D'Alessandro, I want to tell you something. You think you're smarter than I am?
I do
you
not,
are
ma'am.
not. You are not. And I've been a judge for a very long time, and things usually happen in a rhythm. And let me explain the rhythm to you that is factual. Fact is, he lived there since 1997. Fact is, between 1997 and 2003, neither you nor your mother before you had occasion to file any kind of charges against Mr. Broussard or his girlfriend. Fact. The same month, according to you, that the title passed to you in the house, you decided to get your ducks in the water and remodel the unit behind the house. And according to you, he came and got in your face on that day, and you decided you had to do something to get him out because he was going to, according to you, quote, a moment ago, he was going to have to move anyway because I was going to gut the apartment. That's what you just told me. Those are the objective facts. And what you would have me believe is that all of a sudden this man who had been a reasonable tenant for 7 years became a psychopath.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
And later today,
I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck.
And when the cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage.
He was drunk.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Derek Broussard says former landlord Maria D'Alessandro had him falsely arrested for violating a restraining order. Derek also says after he moved out, Maria slandered him to potential landlords.
On October 1st, he gave you a check stated September 30th.
Yes.
I have a receipt for it.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
file a notice to quit because he had not paid rent?
No, I was advised to file the 3-day as well as the 60-day based on the fact that Mr. Broussard was habitually late in paying his rent over a period of time.
Just a second. So what you're telling me is that you filed a notice for him to vacate the premises, not because he was late in October, because he wasn't late in October because he paid you the rent on time.
Right.
But because it started to bother you that before that he hadn't paid his rent.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, and it didn't bother my mother.
So
at
what
all.
did you file a complaint for?
I filed the complaint because I felt unsafe with Mr. Broussard being there after he verbally attacked me.
Then what I'm saying to you is, you're not following me, madam. What I said was, he didn't bother anybody before, didn't bother your mother before, didn't bother you before. When he started to bother you was in October when you decided to make renovations on the apartment.
And
those are the objective facts.
I did not make the decision in October, ma'am. I had started the work on the unit earlier in that summer, approximately June or July.
On his unit?
No, because they were still in it. I couldn't do it.
Right.
But that is not the reason why I filed eviction against
I don't
them
believe
at
you.
all.
I don't believe
My
you.
mother, I have evidence in here that shows that prior to 2003, Mr. Broussard had a record, a pattern of actually tendering checks that came back NSF.
You just told me, madam, you got to keep your story straight. I'm speaking and you're not listening. You just told me that the reason you gave him the notice to quit was not because of rent. You just said to me the reason I gave him the notice to leave was because I felt unsafe. Well, what is it? Rent or unsafe? Think hard. Think hard. Rent, unsafe.
The rent was not the rent was not the issue.
Okay. Now the rent was not the issue. Is that? I'm speaking. The rent was not the issue. Can I see your notice to leave? Do you have it?
It's in there. And here's the.
Just a minute. Shh. Well, you certainly say here that the reason you gave him the notice, madam, was because of rent.
What document is that you're looking at?
Take a look.
I will say, in my defense...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Pay attention to me. What's the reason you give in the notice for him to leave?
The attorney's office filed this on October the 15th. They made an error, and I have a note in here that
Give it to me.
verifies that.
Give it to me.
The note?
No,
or
give me the papers
the
back.
detainer?
Give me the papers back.
The attorney's office acknowledged that they filed the unlawful detainer in error.
When did you file your application for a protective order?
October the 24th.
So, October 15th, they acknowledged they made a mistake, and they withdrew that.
No, not on October the 15th.
Well,
they
that's what
did
you
not
just-
acknowledge that they made the mistake. I did not know that the unlawful detainer had been filed until the morning of October the 21st, and I have a copy of that paper in here.
Oh, okay.
Now, on October the 21st, when I called the attorney's office to say, what are you doing? I called you on October the 2nd to tell you that they had paid their rent in full and to remove the 3-day and maintain
So
the
you
60
told them
day.
that on the 21st of October.
That was the only time I knew that the unlawful detainer had
Listen
been
to
filed.
me carefully. So now we get to this objective data. The objective fact is that on the 21st, because you knew that you couldn't get them out because they had in fact paid their rent, right?
That's not-
3 days later, you filed a protection order against them. Now let me see the allegations on which you based the protective order. Let me
Here's
see
a
it.
restraining order. Is that what you're asking?
I
for?
want to see the underlying allegations where she filed
There's
for
a-
a protective order. Underlying allegations. Can I see it, please? Description of the conduct. October 2nd, defendant observed plaintiff banging loudly on her back door. Garbage left in the area surrounding plaintiff's residence, and the defendant observed burning rubber in the driveway. October 3rd, he called you a name. October 17th, broken beer bottles left in front of her garage. So all of these things happened, and you filed this 3 days after you told the lawyer you better withdraw that because he paid his rent.
That's because I was hoping he was just going to leave me alone.
Madam, you are full of baloney.
No,
And
ma'am, I am
And I
not.
believe that the reason you got him out and the reason you filed for a violation is because there was no other way to get him out. He had been a tenant. He'd been a tenant for 7 years. You wanted to renovate those 3 apartments, and the only way to get him out was to have him arrested, which is what you did. Judgment for the plaintiff, and the amount requested, $5,000.
That's not the reason why Good, congratulations, you got your money.
Sorry, excuse me. Step out.
Judge Judy.
Good, you got you some money now.
I was trying to get over it, but something inside of me told me don't let her get away with this.
It's breaking beer bottles. Okay, so what? I cleaned it up.
38 years, been a law-abiding citizen, and for her just to say, take him away, like I'm a piece of meat.
It's a lot more pleasant place to live now.
She's had ex-boyfriends vandalize her property, so she felt like she could blame it all on me.
He can move on. I've moved on.
Oh, man, I'm so happy. I love Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Ward versus Ortega, step forward, please.
Office manager Kelly Ward is suing fellow concertgoer, 19-year-old student Filiberto Ortega for falling on top of her during a show. Kelly says a drunken Filiberto gave her whiplash.
Miss Ward, you went to a concert, a musical concert?
Yes, I did.
And Mr. Ortega was also a guest at that concert, paying custom. Don't get smart with me, sir. Is your claim that Mr. Ortega got drunk? While he was drunk, he fell on top of you and injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for your medical bills and for your pain and suffering.
Yes.
And Mr. Ortega said that that's what happens when you go to a concert. He doesn't think that you were injured. He was drinking that night, but he doesn't think that he was so drunk that his falling on top of you, which he hardly remembers, was as a result of his being intoxicated. Is that right, sir?
I'll admit I was wrong for drinking that night, and I learned my lesson, definitely learned my lesson.
Well, let's start with Miss Ward. What concert was it?
It was a Dave Matthews concert on October 5th.
And tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I can tell you what I remember. My witness can kind of finish it up for me. Her and I were sitting in our seats at the time. She was on the end. I was sitting right next to her. All of a sudden, all I knew, I felt something in the back of my head. I was pushed to the ground like this. I felt feet kicking my head and my neck. And from there, it was kind of a blur.
Then you can pick it up from there. Tell me your name.
Lori
Lori what?
Langdock.
What did you see?
At first I felt something hit the side of my arm, and I thought maybe she's trying to get my attention. So I turned and looked at her and saw her slump forward in her seat, and I saw the defendant's legs are on top of her head and her neck, and his body was to the seat, in the seat to her left. And I had to kind of pick his legs up off of her and he kind of fell farther over. Then she sat up just a little bit, and I just kept asking her if she was okay, and then he pushed a little bit past her and he kept falling back on the both of us, so I had to kind of help hold him up until he got right in the stairwell there, or in the stairs, and then I let go of him and went back to her.
You have any medical bills?
Yes, I do.
Can I see them, please?
Sure.
Okay, I'll hear you.
Do I start? I really don't know where to start.
Start when you arrived at the concert, sir.
Right at the concert,
Who brought you?
we actually walked to the concert from a friend's house of mine.
Had you been drinking before you got to the concert?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you drinking?
Vodka.
Tell me what happened to Miss Ward.
I fell over like a couple rows of people, and I was unaware that I hurt her that bad. Cops rolled up, and that's the day the music died for me. So
What do you mean the day the music died for you? What does that mean?
it's a reference to a song.
What happened to you, Mr. Ortega?
What happened to me? I fell. It's simple
And when
as
the
that.
cops arrived, what happened, sir?
They cuffed me for drinking and being underage. I got in trouble for resisting arrest, and that's all pending right now, so I don't know if I can really talk about it, but...
No, you shouldn't, because you behaved badly.
May I say something,
Sure.
Your Honor? When we came back, he was actually passed out in his seat at that time.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
I couldn't control myself, and I apologize if I hurt you.
Well, I'm glad you said that, sir, so that I don't have to scream and yell at you and make you appear foolish, which, believe me, if there's anybody who knows how to do that, I am a pro.
May I also mention one other thing? At this time, I'm unable to lift my 3-year-old daughter. I'm unable to lift a basket of clothes, my 5-pound cat. So,
All as a result of being stupid.
and I don't know how long this is going to last. You know, I have a 6-month record for chiropractic, but it could go past that.
Did you see this chiropractor before this
No,
incident?
I've never seen a chiropractor before.
Judgment for the plaintiff, as requested. I've calculated your expenses, and they will amount to almost $4,000 by the time you're finished. Your request is for $5,000. It's more than reasonable. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Bankston, who are these people?
This is April Hochran, Bo's daughter, and my fiance, Randy.
And who is this?
It's my fiance, Tara Harris.
Everybody brings a fiancé. What do they have to do with this case? Anything?
She's seen some stuff and heard some stuff, and other than that, that's about it.
Okay. According to what I read, Miss Bankston, he used to be a friend of yours or a boyfriend of yours?
He used to live with me.
Live with you as a boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he went to jail?
No, ma'am. He lived with me after he came out of jail.
What year did you go to jail, sir?
In January '92,
And how old was April in 1992?
7.
Who did she live with?
When I was in jail, she was living with my mom and my dad.
What happened with that?
They died.
When did they die?
In '96, my dad died, and in '98, my mom died.
What happened in 1998?
She went to live with a friend of mine for a little while, and her mother come got her. After that, Mary went and got her out of a motel room.
How old was she at the time, Miss Bankston?
She was 13 when I took her.
How did you find her in a motel room?
She called me and told me she wanted something she hadn't eaten in a few days, and I took her something to eat. And when I got to the motel, it was a bad place for her to be. And so I took her with me, and I raised her until he got out.
When did you get out?
In 2001, October 2001.
Were you in communication with Miss Bankston while your daughter was living with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you tell her in this communication?
Told her I appreciated everything she was doing for her.
Who was supporting her at the time she was living with you?
I was.
When you got out of jail, Mr. Holgren, where did you go?
I moved in with Mary.
Mary and your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you start supporting the household?
I was pulling my share, ma'am.
What was he paying for?
He was paying like the electric bills, and I paid the house payment because it was my house before he came along, and he paid the electric bill and things like that. He was pulling his weight as long as he lived there. Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever ask Miss Bankstrom how much she spent on your daughter while you were incarcerated?
No.
Why not?
I don't have any idea why I didn't.
Well, this lawsuit's very simple. It says that at some point you used her credit card after you got out of jail while you were living with her, You used her credit card. You told her you would pay for the bills on her credit card, and you didn't. And you owe her some money, $1,100.
Right.
So?
She got me some credit cards off her account, and went and ate on them and done some stuff on them. I took my boy to World Series, Little League World Series up in Oklahoma on a gas card, and other than that, you know, I was paying them until I left.
And so what happened when you left?
I don't know, it wasn't a good scene.
Did you leave with your daughter or without your daughter?
I left without my daughter.
So you left your daughter there?
No, she wasn't living there at the time, I don't think.
Where was she living?
Living in another place.
Where was she living?
She was living with another friend of ours.
Why?
Her and her father did not get along, so she moved out of the house.
Okay. Can I see the charges that he made?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would you like all the evidence? Or just
Sure. Golden Corral.
That's an eating establishment.
Japanese Palace.
Another eating establishment. I have several eating establishments that we ate at on my credit cards, too.
Well, this is a lot of eating out.
Been 10 years since I ate out anywhere, so we kind of ate out pretty regularly.
So why don't you pay for it?
Well, I really don't feel like I owe her anything on that, because I I've done some other things, you know. I wasn't trying to get anything from her that I'd done over there. I mean, you know.
Well, give me an example, sir.
I put a storage building in the backyard. It was like $900-something bucks. I helped put a central air and heating unit in her house. That was labor on there. I put some electrical work in the garage and stuff.
Well, how much do you think it takes to support a teenager, sir? A month?
Quite a bit.
Listen, you know, if you have a large golden retriever, you can't take care of a large golden retriever for less than $100 a month. So
Right.
would you say it costs $200 a month to take care of a teenager?
At least.
Let's try 3.
Yeah, probably.
14 months, right? And she was there 14 months, and you didn't pay any support, right? So why would you stick her with $1,100 worth of bills?
The bottom line is that it was kind of crazy over there. Just several things that happened, and you know, she wrecked my motorcycle and all that. You know, right there
She what?
at the end. She wrecked my motorcycle.
She wrecked your motorcycle. I couldn't understand. She
Right.
wrecked your motorcycle. How'd
Right.
she do that?
Well, she took off on it and crashed
That he
it.
wouldn't even had if I had not had financed it for him.
And I was without the motorcycle for 3 months. I paid $500 a month on that while I was in the shop. $6,500 a month.
Well, did she do that on purpose?
Well, I told her not to get on it because she never rode one before, and she took off on it on her own wheel and crashed it. Hurt herself real bad. You know, and then right before I got the motorcycle, I was going to refinance the motorcycle because she kept hounding me about getting it refinanced,
Because
out of
she
her
was on a
name.
loan.
Right. And,
Well, she asked you to refinance it because she didn't want to be on the loan.
Right.
Well,
So
that sounds right to me.
Well, I finally did that, and the day I was
No,
going
he
to...
didn't.
The day I was going to refinance it, she called me and told me that she wasn't going to sign off on that loan until I give her $1,000. And I said, well, I ain't give you $1,000. And I went up there and traded it in and got it out of her name anyway.
What a prince. This is your fiancé. Is there anything you want to say to me?
Yeah, do I need to stand up?
You do.
I just have one comment, and that is whenever he went to refinance the motorcycle last year, he got his credit report and got it back, and it was about that thick, where he only had 4 credit cards in his name that he had gotten since they split up. Well, this had 18 open accounts on it.
We're not talking about the charges for those.
I know, but what I'm saying is...
What's your name?
Tara Harris.
Miss Harris, how old are you?
32.
You have children?
1.
How old?
12.
Who supports that child?
Me and him support him, and I get child support.
You get child support from the child's father?
Yes.
You get child support every month?
No, ma'am.
Every week?
No, ma'am.
How often?
Supposed to get it every month.
Yeah, and what happens?
He's been living at my house. He was with his dad. He's been living with us for the last year.
Oh, so before that he was living with his father?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you paying child support
Yes,
to his
ma'am.
father? How often?
Out of every paycheck, weekly.
Now, when you don't get child support from his father, does that annoy you?
Yes, ma'am.
And that child is biologically related to you.
Correct.
And biologically related to his father. How do you feel about somebody who doesn't feel any responsibility to somebody who supports their child for 14 months.
She lived with me for 5 years before he got out.
5 years. And pays for clothes, doctor, shoes, vacation, everything else. And doesn't say, as soon as I get out, I'm going to start paying you back for whatever you laid out, because I know that that's my responsibility. Think that kind of person has good moral fiber?
Actually, I think Bubba does have good moral fiber. He just, you know, he didn't work for 10 years. He didn't have the money.
Well, he does now.
Yes, ma'am, he does, and he
So
greatly
just a second.
appreciates.
Just a second. I don't care if he appreciates. You got to put your money where your mouth is, honey. Appreciating is not good enough. How could you say he's got good moral fiber? He's working now. And if his child was supported by a stranger for 5 years, and not only supported by, but nurtured by, stayed with, you know, took care of when she was sick, whatever else, you start paying that back. You start saying that was my obligation. And because I committed a crime doesn't mean that I don't have that obligation. So instead of not paying her support, now, I'm not talking about a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm talking about now. Instead of supporting your child, to whom he is not obligated in any way legally, you should send that money to her. She's not even suing for that money. I would love for her to do that. All she says is he used the credit card, $1,100, and that he should pay. Don't you think he should pay that too? Minimally.
No, I don't think he should pay that credit card debt.
You think he should pay her for supporting his daughter?
He's probably, yeah, I would say that he's probably responsible for that.
Well,
I
she's
know
not
that
suing. She's not suing him for that. She says, I took that responsibility on myself, and I'm not even going to pursue that. I just want what he's supposed to pay me on the credit card when he left. You get my drift.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt he can buy other things. He can buy a new Harley, but he couldn't pay me $1,100 for for credit card bills that he charged up.
We're real grateful for her. I mean, I don't know what I've done. If she wouldn't have been here, I don't know where she'd be, you know.
He has somebody else, I have somebody else. We're friends. We have a daughter together.
I'm just glad she's going to get paid so I don't have to hear him argue anymore.
I will never put nobody on my credit cards ever again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Fournier versus Cradaville, step forward, please.
22-year-old mechanic Timothy Fournier is suing his former live-in girlfriend, 18-year-old Laura Cradaville, for rent and for damage to his property. Laura claims she paid her rent in cash.
Mr. Fournier, the defendant was your girlfriend. You lived together for a while. It is your claim she owes you some money for rent and property that you claim she destroyed of yours. The defendant says that she gave you money every week and that whatever property she had of yours she returned after she received a telephone call from the police. When did you and the defendant move in together? And what kind of property?
We moved into an apartment on September 1st.
In whose name was the lease?
Both of ours.
You have a copy of the lease?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please? Mr. Fournier, does your hand always shake, or do I make you a little nervous?
A little both.
No, I just make you nervous. Don't be nervous. It's a Tuesday. I don't do anything really bizarre to litigants until Friday.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had a very big loan on a truck. What happened is it was taken and burnt.
Your Honor, that's not true. He took it.
You pled guilty to burning the truck?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Timothy Fournier says his ex-girlfriend Laura Cradaville owes for rent and for breaking his PlayStation 2.
All right, so tell me how much money she owes you and from what?
I have her owing half the security deposit and the first and second month's rent that she had never paid me for. And that came up to...
Well, did you get the security deposit back?
No, because of the damages that she had made to the house.
Did you pay any of the rent?
Your Honor, the agreement was I'd give him $100 a week, and from the date we moved in until the date we left, I'd given him $100 every week except the last week I gave him $60.
Is that right?
No.
Well, how much should she give you?
$15, $20 here for the odds and ends.
Well, did you keep a record of what she gave you?
Of what she gave me? No.
Well, how am I supposed to figure that out, Mr. Fournier?
I have no idea. But
Me neither.
But I did not.
Me neither. When two children want to play house and then it doesn't work out, you come into court and you say, here, this is my problem, you figure it out. Well, that's not the way responsible people behave. Did you keep a record?
No, Your Honor.
When did you separate?
The day we moved out, on November 15th.
Tell me about it.
We had gotten to an argument that spawned from an online, me talking online about certain people, and then it spawned into like this big giant argument where insults were thrown back and forth till finally we had decided to break up.
Okay.
And I was planning on leaving, so I called my mother so I could pick up my brother's truck. When I went down there to get my brother's truck, and my dad had met me to help me move all my stuff out. When I got there, the house had been ransacked and the door was left wide open.
Can I see it, please?
The door was not open, and the house was not destroyed, except from what he had taken with him.
And that's what the apartment looked like when we had got back.
You made a mess, madam.
Your Honor,
yes, you did.
The house was a mess before
Oh,
we even
no, no, no,
broke
no,
up.
no, 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 no. You made a mess. You made a mess. Absolutely. What? It looks like all her clothes.
A lot of things would look like they're ransacked and thrown around the house.
That's
like
the way
just-
the house always looked.
No.
No,
it's
it
always
really
looked
did.
like that. No, no, no.
That's the bedroom. We didn't have anything in there but clothes. We didn't have a bed. We didn't have nothing.
Nobody
It was-
lives like this.
We did,
except maybe a
unfortunately.
14-year-old.
We really did.
Well, you should have been neater.
Should have been.
Okay. How did you get out of this lease? I'm curious.
She had signed herself off the lease, so what I had done is I was claiming bankruptcy, so I added that to my bankruptcy.
Why were you claiming bankruptcy?
I put myself into a lot of debt.
How old are you?
22.
How did you put yourself in so much debt that at your age you have to declare a bankruptcy?
I was charged with burning my truck and attempting to fraud. So then when I pled out, I couldn't claim it. So
You're going to have to be more specific with me, sir. You're being very circumspect.
I had a very big loan on a truck, and then what happened is it was taken and burnt. And
Your Honor, that's not true. He took it.
You had a truck that was on a lease,
yes,
and you owed a lot of money on it,
yes,
and it broke down.
no, it was crashed and burned.
You were charged with it, and you pled guilty to burning the truck?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. And then you had to make restitution
Yes.
for the truck. And how much did you owe?
I owed 18 on the truck, 18,000.
So you stuck the leasing company with $18,000.
Well, yeah, I mean, I claimed
What do you mean, well,
bankruptcy.
yeah?
I mean, they came after me and I went bankrupt.
What do you think? You think somebody comes down and gives the leasing company $18,000? When you declare bankruptcy, if you own somebody a debt and you declare bankruptcy, what that means is that they're now stuck with a truck that you burned.
Yeah.
Who advised you to do that? Your father? You didn't advise him to do that, did you?
No.
I should hope not. So what you're telling me, sir, is what you did was you decided to lump the whole thing together. That when you declared bankruptcy for this truck, you also lumped together the broken lease.
Yeah.
And you expect sympathy from me, is what I'm asking you.
No, I'm not expecting sympathy.
Ah, perfect, good. All right, so what property do you claim she took or destroyed?
She had taken my PlayStation 2 that night.
Good. Now, she says in her answer that she returned it to you.
She did, but it came back broken.
Where did you get the PlayStation 2 from?
Sears.
And you put it on your credit card?
Yes.
You declare bankruptcy on that credit card, too?
Yes.
Get out of here. Is he playing with a full deck?
Yes.
Does he not understand a concept of morality?
Yes, he does.
Well, it's not evident here, sir. He took advantage of Sears by lumping them into his bankruptcy rather than paying off the credit card. And now you're suing her because you want the money. I assume if I give you the money for the PlayStation that you broke, you're going to give it to Sears, right?
No.
Get out of here. Oh, goodbye. Have a happy life. Dad, you got a lot of work to do. He's 22, maybe still salvageable. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out on the calendar in the matter of Mohajer versus Ramos. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Mr. Mohajer, according to your complaint, sir, you and the defendant had a relationship and have a child together.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you were together several years ago, Ms. Ramos didn't have sufficient credit to secure a credit card in her own name. You agreed to get one for her, and the condition was that she would make the payments on the card. You and the defendant were living together at the time, and when you broke up, she stopped making payments on the credit card, leaving you a balance of almost $2,000. You want her to make those payments.
Yes.
Plus, you have a complaint against her for harassment, which I will give you about 30 seconds to talk to me about. Ms. Ramos says that she spent a fortune of money on daycare for your son, that you finally were ordered to pay child support. She hasn't seen any child support from you since the order was made in November. That's her defense. When did you live together? From when to when?
As of December 2002, all the way till July of 2004.
And when was your son born?
December 2002, on the 30th.
And when did you get this credit card?
Back of August 2003.
And from August of 2003 until you separated in July of 2004, who paid for that credit card?
She did.
Solely?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you stop making payments on the card, Ms. Ramos?
I stopped making payments after August 10th was my last payment.
Why?
I don't owe him anything anymore. We are not together anymore, and I've paid over $9,000 in daycare. He has not helped me out in any way with my son, even when we lived together.
Well, Ms. Ramos, you originally had an agreement with him, and your agreement with him provided that if he got you a credit card, you would make the payments. Because you had made the payments, according to you. You'd made the payments until August of 2004. That's what you said.
I never asked him to apply for the credit card.
That's not the issue.
He was never helping out. He said, I got this card for you. Since I can't help you out with groceries or clothes or anything else, we'll use the credit card and we'll pay half and half every month. That was the agreement. I did not ask him to apply for the card.
So is what you're telling me that you were each paying on this credit card?
No, I ended up paying it because he's this car salesman and he never made enough money. He only had enough money to pay for his new boat. He didn't make that much money.
Who did you live with?
We lived with him and his father and his aunt. And
so you lived in his home?
Yes, with his family.
Who paid rent?
Often he would pay $500 a month to his father, but he didn't pay every month.
Your Honor, I have text
Just
showing
a second. Making excuses, Ms. Ramos. If you made payments on this credit card from the time you got it in 2003 until August of 2004, then that supports the plaintiff's statement that you agreed to make payments on this credit card.
The charges on the credit card were purchases that were made for myself, for him, and my son. All the stuff was stuff for the three of us. That was when we were together, and now that we're not together, I don't see how he can come back and sue me for stuff.
Let me see the bills on the credit card, please. While you were living with the plaintiff, what other household expenses did you pay for?
I got the groceries.
Okay.
And the clothes for my son, and the bottles, and the formula, and all that stuff on the credit card, and I paid it every month.
Okay.
I paid for daycare.
Just a minute. What are these charges for American Furniture Mart in Dallas, 363? What is that?
That was furniture when I needed to move out from his home. I had to buy furniture for my new apartment with me and my son.
So you expect him to pay for that?
I actually made a payment after that on August 10th for $400 to cover that.
Well, that doesn't cover the $306 and $363.
What's the other one?
Supercenter.
Groceries and stuff for our new apartment. I had to get out. It was a very bad situation.
Well, that doesn't mean he pays for it. That's what happens when you're not married. Bad situation, you have to move out.
I would trade in to pay $500 a month any day over paying the daycare, the bills, the grocery, and all that stuff.
Listen, Miss Ramos, you went to family court to get an order of support?
Yes, we did.
And you've gotten an order of support. An order of support was made by the family court in November. Have you paid that award?
Yes, I have indication letter here showing my child support that I paid. Her lawyer failed to get an account number
May I see it, please?
set up, so the checks that I sent were sent back. And I had to beg and plead with my lawyer to get a hold of her lawyer, but her lawyer would refuse to contact us back. So I finally received a letter on January the 8th showing that finally they set up an account number. And the checks were mailed out actually about a week ago.
Your Honor, I have where they now are going to garnish his wages because he has not made those payments.
And she'll be receiving those, they said, within the end of the week, if not first
I
of the next
believe you
week.
sent them. I believe he sent
And
it.
I also have where he enrolled his son in the daycare where he's currently at and has not helped pay for it at all.
I have check deposits showing that I made a deposit when he was enrolled, Your Honor.
A deposit of $200, but I pay $800 a month, every month. It's come out of my account.
Just a second.
And I have the Chase account.
Listen to me. Ms. Ramos, when you were together, who made more money?
I did.
You are going to pay more money for support for this child than he is if you make more money than he does. That's no question about that. That's just the way things are. But you had an agreement with him, and your agreement with him, based upon the evidence, based upon the course of conduct, was you were going to pay this credit card, and you used it as if it were your own. And I can tell you that because after you left, you continued to use this credit card for things that you needed.
For me and my son. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not responsible for you. He's not your husband. You chose to have a child
I don't
with him.
deny that I didn't make the charges. I know that I made the charges.
Well, you made the charges.
But
You
what
made
I'm
the charges at a
saying
time.
is he owes me more than I owe him
Then
as
you
far
have
as
to sue.
daycare.
Then you have to sue it. No. Listen to me.
He enrolled
you
him in
raised...
the daycare. Let me show you the
No,
enrollment.
Ms. Ramos, you're not following me. Ms. Ramos, the court made an order of support. The order of support was what the court believed was consistent with your individual income and the needs of the child. You have a right to appeal that judgment if you like, but what you cannot do is resort to self-help and say, well, I didn't get what I wanted in the child support hearing, therefore I'm not going to pay this credit card anymore, when you made an agreement with him to pay the credit card and you used the credit card as if it was your own. And you did use the credit card as if it was your own because you used it after you moved out of his home to buy things for your new home.
But it's not $1,700 in charges. The other charges were stuff when we were together and stuff for the three of us.
And what I'm
the
telling...
agreement was we were both going to pay for that stuff.
No, and I don't believe that. I believe that he paid for certain things. I'm speaking. Hey, I'm speaking. I believe that he paid for certain things in the house, and you paid for certain things in the house. He paid the rent, and I assume he paid other fixed expenses, and you paid for food, and you paid for clothing for the child, and you paid for the daycare.
So he's paid nothing for his son.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. That's all. I see I'm not getting to you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think he's very jealous. We just separated, and now that I've moved on, I've gotten married.
She's a teacher. She's teaching fellow kids out there this kind of responsibility. It's kind of sad.
He hasn't helped at all.
The only reason she left because I gave him too much attention, didn't give her enough attention.
It's like super dad, you know? He gets all the benefits of being a father. He gets to see him half the time, and then doesn't have to pay a dime. Let's be nice.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Simon. Step forward.
Operator Sharon Johnson is suing her daughter, 26-year-old homemaker Celicia Simon, for an unpaid loan when she fell on hard times. Sharon claims Celicia is trying to call it a gift.
Miss Johnson, this is your daughter, and it is your claim that she owes you for some rent when she lived with you for 3 months.
Yes, ma'am.
And also a loan of $2,500. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Quite frankly, Miss Johnson, I'm not so interested in the rent that you claim she owes you for the 3 months that she lived there. You indicate in your complaint that your daughter and her children needed a place to live. They moved in with you. She agreed to give you $300 a month. She didn't have it at the time. She stayed with you for 3 months. That's $900. And subsequently, you all decided that it would be best if she and her children had their own place to live. She needed rent, first class, and security. I don't know what it was. So you gave her $2,500. According to you, it was a loan. I'm going to stick with the $2,500 because when your daughter and her children need a place to live, you don't say, you have no money, but I'm going to charge you $300 for rent. You'll give it to me when you have it. That's not what a mother does. Do we understand each other, Miss Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So now let's deal with the $2,500 loan. Tell me when you gave her the loan and what it was for.
I gave her the loan at the end of November of '03, and it was for to help with either down payment or something concerning on a place that her children and her husband were going to move into.
When she was living with you, was her husband living with you also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have a house?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How large a house is it?
It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
And it was just you living there?
No, ma'am.
Who else lives there?
Myself, my husband, and my 2 sons.
You work?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Your husband works?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
What about your 2 sons?
One of them is in college, the other one is working.
Okay. How many children do you have?
I have 2.
And why did you have to move in with your mother?
I fell upon hard times. I lost my job.
And what about your husband? Did he lose his job too?
He was in between jobs.
What kind of work do you do?
I do phlebotomy work. I draw blood.
And he?
He's a crew member at a fast food restaurant.
How old are your children?
I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 3.5 years.
Okay, your mother gave you $2,500, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss with her paying her back?
No, ma'am.
That's not true.
Go ahead.
Before I loaned her the money, things were getting tight at the house, and she said she had found a place because she borrowed some money. I asked her how much. She said $2,500. I said, okay, well, how are you going to pay me? She said, well, Mom, you know, I'll get my income tax check in February, and I'll pay you then. I said, okay. And then a few days later, I went to the bank, got a cashier's check, and loaned her the money.
Did she get her income tax check?
She said she did.
When was the first time you asked her for this money back?
It was in March, because February, she wasn't returning any calls to me.
Tell me about the conversation.
Well, when I caught up with her, I said, Cece, where's my money? Mom, I'm going to go in and give you the $900 back. No. Where's all of my money? I want my $900 and I also want my $2,500. $2,500? I thought that was Christmas gift. I don't think so. I can't just give away $2,500. And so it was like, but Mommy, no, I don't remember. I remember us making an agreement. You and I, your husband stay in the background like you always do, since he's always on a vacation. So when are you going to get my money? I'll talk to you later on. And when she hung up, that teed me off. So then I tried to take it to court.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Over the course of time, I have given loans, spent loads and loads of money on my children. I would never, ever sue them. Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Sharon Johnson says her daughter, Celicia Simon, owes for a loan to pay her bills. Celicia insists the money was a gift.
You have two brothers.
Yes, ma'am.
You know that your mother gave them Christmas presents?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you discuss that with your brothers?
Yeah, like, you know, just when brothers and sisters get together and they discuss
Well, what did you
it.
talk to them about?
Well, my brothers, one of them was getting a car, and then one of them was getting, like, screens in his car and the big rims on his car or whatever. So it was just like, you know, I'm going to get back on my feet by getting into my own place. And my one brother would have transportation so he could get a better job, and the other brother, he's the youngest and the most spoiled.
Well, Miss Simon, what I believe is that you acknowledge that you owed your mother $900 for rent, right?
I think that I was thankful for my mother giving me and my family a place to stay. I wasn't able to compensate her.
What your mother said was, when she spoke to you, you said to her, well, I know, Mom, I know I owe you the $900.
I mean, she was calling every... Your Honor, you don't understand.
No, I understand. I don't think that that's something that you have to call for, but if you acknowledge that you owed her the $900 and you did get your income tax refund, which is what she was waiting for, why didn't you give her back the $900?
It was a tight situation, which is why I, you know, needed help in the first place. My family was just in a very bad spot.
Well, then why didn't you call her and say to her, Mom, I know I promised to give you the money back when I got my tax refund, but things are pretty tight. Why did you wait for her to call you?
She knew I was in a bad situation. I didn't feel like I should have to go to her and explain to her, hey, you know, a couple months later, I'm still in a tight situation. I still can't give you any money.
Why, is your mother rich?
No, she's not rich.
She's not rich. How old are you?
I'm 26.
You have two children, you have a husband, you have a home, you're an independent person. That means you have to act like a grown-up.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you borrow money from somebody and you acknowledge at least the $900, then if you can't pay them back, the time when you say you're going to pay them back, you pick up the phone and say, I know I said I could pay you back. Can I get a little bit of an extension? Can I give you back something? Can I give you $100?
It became such a big thing that, like, at family gatherings or whatever, it just always wound up being a big argument. She continued to make a huge scene about it every time we got together at family.
Miss Simon.
Yes, ma'am.
Has your mother always been like that? Oh, yes. The question is yes or no.
Yes,
Has she always been like that?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you shouldn't have borrowed money from her.
I didn't borrow money from her. I told her I needed help.
No. You acknowledge that you owed her at least $900. And if you know that that's the way she is about money, you shouldn't have taken other money from her.
That's how bad I needed it. I mean, it was the last option. I couldn't continue to be there in her house. I didn't want to take my family, you know, to a shelter.
Well, what was your husband doing?
He was working.
Was he working 5 days a week?
Not always.
Is he working now?
Yes, ma'am.
5 days a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And what about you?
I'm a homemaker. I take care of my two children.
I just asked you what kind of work you did, and you told me that you drew blood.
Yes, ma'am. I just recently lost a child, so I haven't been working. When I found out I was pregnant at the beginning of the school year, I decided to take the school year off just to be at home a little more with the kids and everything, and also because I was pregnant, and I just recently lost my child.
You're not supposed to have more children until you can support the ones you have. Does that sound harsh to you?
No, ma'am.
I hope not. I mean, I'm telling you this because I think that sometimes people lose sight of that. That if you have 2 children and you have to go back to your mother for money, then you don't make more babies. Having children is very nice as long as you can take care of them. Your mother's not a rich lady, but you can't look at your siblings and say, because they got Christmas presents, I should have gotten one too.
But she's not taking any of them to court. She's taking me to court. I'm the only girl. Those are her precious boys, you know. They got money to go and get a car, you know, to go and get screens in his car. I mean, when I was that age, she wasn't giving me money to go put screens in my car.
I don't think that your mother...
I know she can do what she wants with her money.
Yes, I don't think that your mother would say that this was a loan unless she honestly believed that this $2,500 that she gave you was money that you were supposed to return. I think that you've been, for want of a better term, and I don't necessarily like this term, I don't think that you can allow your jealousy of your younger brothers to interfere with the rest of your life. If you feel as if your mother favors the 2 boys...
She does.
Well, I don't know whether you were a more difficult child, a less difficult child, who knows? But you will find that during the course of your life there will ebb and flow with regard to which of your children you like better than others. You may love them all, but at various times in their lives you will like some better than others. Fair?
Fair.
Love all. Love them all. Yes. But at various times, depending upon what they do, to drive you crazy and to make you gray, you will like one more than another. You can't let that interfere with your whole life. Miss Johnson, I'm going to award you your $2,500 for this loan that you gave your daughter, but I'm going to give you a little lecture at the same time.
Yes, ma'am.
Over the course of time, I suppose I have given, loaned, spent, whatever, loads and loads of money on my children. I would never, ever sue them in a court. Never. That's not what parents do to their children, unless the children are really, really bad people. And your daughter may have made some mistakes in her life, but she doesn't seem like a bad person. She's reasonably articulate. She's been in a relationship with her husband for a long time. She has 2 children. This is the husband, right?
Yes.
Well, you may not like him. You may not like him, but I want to tell you something. You didn't like your first husband either. Right?
No, I didn't.
Right?
Yes,
so you made a mistake.
Yes, ma'am.
So she doesn't seem like a bad girl. And I'm telling you that while I'm giving you a judgment for $2,500, I think you made a big mistake by suing her. That's all.
Hit him first.
All rise. This is case number 204 on the calendar in the matter of Serbo versus Dillon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Serbo, the defendant was your boyfriend for a period of time. You were quite young. He wasn't much older, at least up here. And according to your complaint, you broke up with him after he assaulted you and stole your car. Mr. Dillon says that you hit him first, he merely retaliated, and that the car that you're talking about is titled in his name and is his car. How old were you when you met Mr. Dillon?
16.
And he?
26.
Where were you living?
Well, after I met him, we began a relationship, and I moved in with him when I was 16.
Prior to moving in with him, where did you live?
At my mother's.
Didn't get along with your mother?
No, never have.
When did you move in with him? Give me the month and year.
It was May 5th, 2006.
Where did you meet?
Basically at his house.
Explain that to me, how you met at his house.
There was a party I was invited to at his house.
Yes.
It just ended up being the 3 of us, his roommate, himself, and myself.
I mean, that was the party?
That was the party.
Who invited you to the party?
His roommate, David, who was kicked out before I moved in, which is not too long after we met.
Had you been living at your mother's house just prior to May 5th?
Yeah.
Look at me. Don't look over there. There's nothing over there that's more interesting than over here. Had you been living at your mother's house?
Yes.
Immediately prior to you moving in to his house?
Yes.
Now, when did you move out?
Moved out January 2nd.
Don't look over there. There's nothing over there.
January 2nd.
All the action is over here. Go ahead.
January 2nd, 2006.
Look, you met him and moved in on May 5th, 2006.
2005, sorry.
That's better. And you moved out 7 months later, in January of 2006. Correct?
Mm.
And during that time, were you working?
Yes. I'd been employed at Kroger for a year.
Working full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Were you going to school?
No, I dropped out. Got my GED.
When did you get a GED? Don't look over there. Look over here.
I don't...
Did you get a GED yet?
June.
Which June?
This 2006.
You mean you had to think about when you got a GED, madam?
Yes, it was not the biggest thing on my plate with all the other things I've had to deal with. I also moved out, got emancipated. I moved like 4 or 5 different times after I broke up with him. Yeah, it was a lot of things.
Now, tell me when this alleged assault took place that you're suing him for.
January 2nd, 2006.
And that was the day you moved out?
Yes.
Tell me what happened on January 2nd, 2006.
It was the day after my 17th birthday, and Steve and I had been at the home, and his friend Steve-O came over with a bottle of liquor. I asked him not to drink. He began to drink several shots.
What time was this?
He hit me at 5 p.m., so this was before 5 p.m., so I don't know exactly what time they started drinking.
Go ahead.
They were drinking, and then I sat down with them, and I was sitting on his lap, and he said something that between Steve-O and himself, very negative towards me. I can't remember the exact statement, sorry, but, and then I did slap him. But it did not leave red marks, and it was a playful slap. It was probably like this. It was not hard on his face. Because he said something.
So he said something to Steve that...
No, Steve said something about me to Steve-O. That was extremely harsh, yes.
So Steve said something negative about you?
Yeah, like called me a or something like that. And was
so you slapped him in the face?
Yes.
And what did he do?
He pushed me off, and then he grabbed the 2 closest things to him, which was, one was a glass vase, and he threw it, and he was dissatisfied because it did not hurt me. So then he threw his arm back with the camera. He grabbed a camera that was probably about a $200, $300 camera, and wound it back as far as he could. And the best thing I remember about that night is how cold his eyes looked, and he just kept it like that, and then smiled and looked straight at me. And the entire thing, as soon as I slapped him, I was just like, I'm sorry, and I got off. And I was like, and then he just threw it, and it hit me in my face, bounced off. It was like 3 feet in the air before it actually hit the ground. And I've got pictures and 911 tapes and police reports.
You have a hospital report?
Yes.
Like to see it.
It's actually, this is the doctor's report. Those are pictures of the violence. The highlighted part shows.
Okay, let's hear about the assault, Mr. Dillon.
Like she said, on January 2nd, I was sick, just got off work, was laying down, going to bed. Her friend Steve-O, she mentioned, sorry, Your Honor. Our friend Steve-O, she mentioned, had showed up with a bottle of alcohol, like she said. I had the flu, and I figured it might make me feel better.
Like chicken soup, right?
Yeah, chicken soup for the soul. And we took about 2 shots, and I'm sorry, Your Honor, just trying to recall this. Took about 2 shots, and out of nowhere, she just waylays me across the face as hard as she can. And steps back, like she said, saying, I'm sorry, but I mean, I'm sick, not feeling good, and I just had to retaliate.
She hit her back?
I threw the camera. I did throw the camera, but she has hit me. I have witnesses so many times. She played football. This is a tough little girl right here. She's pretty tough, and she'd hit me so many times, and I just didn't want to put up with it anymore.
Okay. So you hit him in the face.
I slapped him like that. It was very playful. It was very
Listen to me. Don't tell me it was playful. You weren't playing with him. You were angry with him, according to you.
Yes.
According to you, he called you a nasty name.
Yes.
So you slapped him in the face.
Yes.
According to you, he was sitting on his lap, so you were pretty close by.
Yes.
And you didn't slap him on the face as a playful thing because you wanted to hurt him because he hurt your feelings. I'm going to read you what the doctor said about this assault on your face. It says, hit on right cheek by boyfriend. Patient wants x-rays. Cheek shows no evidence of infection or injury. A minor soft tissue injury, whatever. Nothing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can't hear a word you're saying, madam, and that usually happens when you don't want me to fully understand. I got news for you. I'm going to fully understand everything that you're saying to me.
And later today,
my mother was never there for us. She was extremely drunk. I witnessed my mother cheat on my father while he was having heart surgery done.
Oh my God, this sounds like something that belongs on a soap opera.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Caitlin Sabah says ex-boyfriend Steve Dillon physically assaulted her with a camera. She also claims Steve stole her car.
All right. I don't see much, madam, and neither did the doctor. Okay. Now, so you slapped him, he hit you, neither one of you was hurt. That comes in the category of too bad. Now let's hear about the car.
My face was swollen for a month.
What?
My face was swollen for a month.
Shouldn't have hit him. You can't hit somebody. And especially you don't hit somebody if, according to you, they've been drinking. So he has, aside from being bigger than you are, or perhaps stronger than you are, and according to you, has these violent sort of tendencies, he was out of control because he was drinking. You should have thought twice about slapping him across the face. Next car. When did you purchase this car?
What happened was I was looking for a car, and I was going to pay, and we were looking for the trading times through it.
I can't hear a word you're saying, madam. One word is going into another, and that usually happens when whatever you're saying you don't want me to fully understand. I got news for you. I'm going to fully understand everything that you're saying to me.
I hope so.
So the last thing that I heard you say was, I was looking for a car.
Yes, and he surprises me. He gives me a car, and he says it's mine. And I tell him that if we break up, this is going to be a huge dispute, so just let me pay everything for the car. And then I give him cash, and I tell him to go put the car in my name. And he says, well, I had to put it in my name because so the insurance would be cheaper on you since I'm over 25 and I'm a white male.
How much money did you give him?
I gave him, because it was
No. How much money did you give him?
Gave the car, it was $150, and then he wanted the wheels.
Just a second. You gave him $150?
Yeah.
And what year car was this?
1989 Honda Accord LXI.
And how much was the car?
He bought it for $150.
You bought a car that runs for $150?
The transmission was bad, Your Honor. It needed a transmission replaced in it.
I paid for the transmission. Steve put it in.
Is that right?
That's correct.
How much did she pay for the transmission?
$200.
That's $350.
Mm-hmm.
And there were wheels. Paid for wheels on the car, and then
Did she pay for the
maintenance.
wheels on the... Shh. Did
I
she pay for
found
the
a
wheels?
set.
I'm speaking.
I'm sorry.
Did she pay for the wheels on the car?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
How much was that?
I think they were $120.
So why do you say the car is yours, sir?
Because we had purchased a dresser through a furniture store, and I told her since I'm over 18 and I was going to finance it for her that we'd use the car as collateral till she paid for the dresser. And she ended
Put the papers down.
She ended up not paying for the dresser. So I went to get my car back.
Where's the dresser?
At her house, in her custody, I'm not sure.
Just a second. You bought a dresser. Who purchased it?
I purchased it on my account for Caitlin.
I paid $30 down on it. I want it donated to Habitat for Humanity.
Just a second. Well, you shouldn't have donated it, madam.
I didn't. I still have it in
Your
my
Honor.
possession.
Oh, you still have it?
Yeah, it's...
Great. You're going to give it back to him.
That's... Okay.
Fine.
She never paid that.
I'm not speaking to you. Great. You're going to donate it back to Mr. Dillon, and he's going to give you your car.
Okay.
Do you understand that's what's going to happen? Because
Yes,
I'm going
Your
to
Honor.
prepare that order.
Okay.
And the order is going to read that 2 days from now, get a big truck and go pick up your dresser.
Okay.
And the sheriff is going to come and pick up the car because it's her car, right? Because you said the reason you didn't give her back a car is because you didn't pay for her dresser.
She had...
I'm speaking. Is that what you just told me?
Yes.
That wasn't a lie, was it? That was the truth.
I'm not lying, Your Honor.
Good.
It's the truth.
You're going to get your dresser back.
But I didn't want the dresser.
That's too bad.
Okay.
You're getting it back. Is that clear, sir?
That's clear.
She, however, is coming to get her car. That was your arrangement. Do you understand?
The arrangement was to pay for the dresser for the car.
No, listen to me, sir. That's not happening.
Okay.
What's happening is you're going to get the dresser and she's going to get her car. Do you understand?
He vandalized the vehicle.
That's too bad. Anything else I have to entertain? Perfect. Very good. You deserve each other. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Different opinions on life. Totally different opinions on life.
Totally opposite personalities. We should have never even gotten together, and I'm so glad I'm away from him now.
She's not all there.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Goodman versus Goodman. Step forward.
Brenda Goodman is suing her son, 19-year-old Corey Goodman, for the return of a car and for money stolen from a joint bank account.
Mrs. Goodman, this young man is your son.
Correct.
According to the complaint that I read, he was living with you.
Correct.
And when he left, he took a car that belonged to you, and he stole money out of a bank account that was yours. Your son says the car was his, and that, well, the money is a really long story, which is sort of an interesting story, which you're going to tell me about. Mrs. Goodman, I gather from reading your papers that for a period of time, he did not live with you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I assume he lived with his father?
Correct.
During what period of his life?
From 9 years old to 16, and then his father kicked him out when he was 16.
17, Your Honor.
17. Prior to his 9th year, with whom was he living?
His father.
And what about you?
Oh, Both of us, yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I have 2 older sisters.
Were they also living with your father?
Yes, they were.
Mrs. Goodman, when your children went to live with their father, were you placed under a support order?
I was.
Are there arrears on that order?
Yes, there is.
You know how much you owe his father?
$14,000.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I am being kept awake with parties of my mother and her boyfriend having a threesome, and that made me want to move back to Michigan.
Good, move!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brenda Goodman is accusing her son Corey Goodman of stealing money from a joint bank account. Corey says he does not approve of his mother's lifestyle.
Okay. You went to live with your mother. When and why?
I believe it would be about August of 2005. I moved down to Florida. She had been talking to me about if I come to Florida, get a job, get my driver's license, my grandmother's car would be mine.
Okay.
Fine.
And you went to Florida, you stayed with your mother. According to your mother, you were doing well at first, and she signed your grandmother's car, which she had inherited, over to you.
Yes.
In what month and year was the car signed over to you?
I have the title right here. It'd be April 11th, 2006.
And when did you leave your mother's home?
I would say probably about 3 months after that.
When did he leave the house?
May 12th.
So the car was turned over on April 11th, 2006, and May 12th you left. Why did you leave?
I left because we had decided that she owed a lot of back child support. I was living with my girlfriend in her house. We wanted to move into an apartment. I had opened up this bank account for her so that she could clear at least a good chunk of the back child support so that she could get a bank account, so that she could do stuff with her life, so that she could have
because right now
something in
she's
her
under
name.
this cloud of back support.
Yes, you know, I understand what that's like to have something holding you back. So we make the agreement that she's going to do the child support thing and everything, and then out of nowhere it just turns, we need to get a bigger house because you guys are living here. And I try saying, that's cool and everything, but I'm trying to move out. I'm trying to get into my own place. If I'm paying rent, I want to be paying my own rent, my own bills.
Okay, and you were working?
Yes.
Had a job?
Yes. And she told me that she wanted to take the money out for a house, and that was not the agreement.
How much money was in the bank?
$3,422. So I pretty much decided that, you know, she's violating verbal agreement, and this money, I mean, I feel like I deserve it.
Okay, you left, you went to the bank, you took out the $3,400, and you left with the car.
Yes.
Okay. Correct. So, I don't want to deal with the car because the car is his. You can't give a gift with strings. He had a job, you turned the car over to him, the car is in his name. Now let's talk about the money.
Okay.
Mr. Goodman, what makes you think this $3,400 is yours?
Growing up, my mother was never there for us. There were several times where she was extremely drunk, having food fights. I was the only one of us 3 kids that actually witnessed my mother cheat on my father while he was in Arizona, having heart surgery done.
Hey, my God, this sounds like something that belongs on a soap opera. Mr. Goodman, are you telling me that you think that because your mother wasn't a good mother, you're entitled to this $3,400?
I believe that because she wasn't paying child support and racked up a $14,000.
Just a second. You don't have standing to complain about that $14,000, sir. Only your father does. But that's not what you're telling me, Mr. Goodman. What you're telling me was she wasn't a good mother. She has $3,400. I feel as if I deserve it because she wasn't there for me and did bad things. I mean, I wish I had the law books here to see if you could look through them because you sound like an intelligent young man.
I try to be.
Well, to look through it and see if you can find that as any sort of a defense for theft.
Well, also in the law books, technically it's not theft.
Well, it is technically theft,
Bank
sir.
account was solely in my name.
It was in your name with a contract with your mother that money was going to be used to pay off your father in back child support to put her credit in reasonable standing. That's what you told me.
Yes.
And that was your agreement with her.
Yes.
So explain to me what you did with the $3,400 when you took it.
I moved back to Michigan. I was living with my girlfriend at the time. We are no longer together. I bought a bed and helped my living expenses, bought food for myself, got a job, paid for the gas so I could go to work. Whatever I had to do to survive, Your Honor.
Wasn't your money.
Was it my money?
It wasn't your money.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Mr. Goodman, if you felt as if you wanted to move out of your mother's home because you wanted to have a place of your own, good for you. do it with your own money.
After she said that she wanted to get a house, that's violating our verbal contract. And then shortly after that, I am being kept awake all night long with parties of my mother and her boyfriend having a threesome. And that was, I'm sorry, that was the trigger that made me want to move back to Michigan.
Good.
I had no money saved up.
Listen to me. Move to Michigan. You can do that, sir. What you're saying is one bad behavior balances another bad behavior, which is theft. You stole money that was never intended for you. It was never intended for you, certainly legally, but certainly contractually. Based on your own statement, sir, that money wasn't yours. It should have been turned over, if you took it, to your father, who was the creditor, not you. Your father supported you. He fed you. He bought you clothes. He did whatever we had to do from age 9 to, according to you, 17.
Yes.
So, the only one who's owed the money is your father. You had no right to take it. How much did he take out of the bank account?
$3,422.
Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. The car belongs to him. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 242 on the calendar in the matter of Britton Toon versus Stuck. Parties have been sworn in. You're welcome. You may be seated.
Are you Miss Britton?
Yes, I am.
And this is your daughter?
Right.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
When did you turn 18?
On May 29th.
What's your first name?
Ashley.
And how old are you?
I am 19.
According to you, Miss Britton, these two girls were friends, despite the fact that one is older than the other, both chronologically and, I gather, emotionally as well.
Yes.
At some point, Miss Stuck came to live with you, and you claim that she owes you for rent for the month that she lived with you. You also claim that she owes you for 2 cell phones that she took from your daughter. Miss Stuck says that your daughter gave her the phones, that there was never a rental agreement, you were helping her out for the month that she lived there, and that you committed credit card fraud when you reactivated a cell phone that was in her name, and your daughter was one of those partners, cell phone partners. It's all very cumbersome, and I don't understand why people take out cell phones for other people that they don't know. I don't understand that at all. Miss Stuck perhaps will tell me. Miss Stuck, will you tell me why you went to live with Mrs. Britton?
I was having problems with my boyfriend, and we had a no contact order at the time, and I was actually living with my parents before I lived with them.
Were you working at the time?
Yes, I was working at Platte River at that time.
At where?
Platte River Restaurant.
What were you doing?
I was hostessing.
How long had you been working there?
Before I moved in with her?
Yes.
I worked there maybe a week.
And while you were living there, were you working there?
I worked there until, I'm not quite sure what day I quit, but I worked for them a while before I moved out of there.
Why did you quit that job?
Because I didn't like it, and I was having problems there.
You have a lot of problems for a young lady.
Yes, I do.
Miss Britton, why did you take Miss Stuck into your home?
Well, I felt sorry for her because she does have a lot of problems. And Ashley had asked me if Christy could come and stay with us. She had nowhere to go. And so I agreed to let her.
Well, did you have a discussion with her before she came?
I did have a discussion with her. The rules were that
Well, tell me, when she came to live with you, May 25th?
I was thinking it was around May 18th, the week of...
Right before her birthday?
Right before Ashley's birthday, yes.
Right. How long had you been friends with her, Ashley?
I'd say we were probably friends since my sophomore year.
Tell me the conversation, Miss Britton, that you had with Miss Stuck before she came to live with you.
Actually, she was already in the process of moving in when we had this conversation due to Ashley and going to me, you know, with what she had said. I actually didn't, till she was already moved in, have a conversation with her. But after she was already moved in, she agreed to pay rent.
I want to hear the conversation, Miss Britton, and don't make things up as you're going along, madam. Do you understand?
Okay, the conversation was between me and Ashley, not probably between me and Miss Stuck.
Okay, so now tell me the conversation that you had with your daughter.
Okay, Ashley came in and said, can Christy move in? And I said, why isn't she still staying with her parents? And she said, because they don't want her there anymore. She will pay you rent. And I said, is she working? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, as long as she's working, then she can stay here.
Fine. So then she moved in.
Right.
And?
And then a week after she moved in, she quit her job.
So?
And I still let her stay there.
Of course. So you did not have an agreement with her?
No.
So?
Later on, there was a conversation said where I told her to tell my husband to offer him some money for rent and that he probably wouldn't take it, but to, you know,
Miss Britton,
plan on that he would.
Miss Britton, that's not a contract. Contract is, this is your room, costs $200 a month. You have to start paying now. You're working. You don't have a contract with your daughter.
Right.
And you don't have a lease agreement with her, even a verbal lease. So you get no rent.
That's fine.
Now, let me hear about the phones, Ashley. Let me hear about the phones that you say she took from you.
Well, the first one was this Nokia phone. It wasn't a very good phone. It was...
Don't speak to her.
Sorry. But I had told her that I would let her borrow them, and then what had happened was I believe both of them that
Look at me.
her boyfriend had broken.
Well, according to you, you said I'll let you borrow one, right?
And then that one had gotten broken again.
And you gave her another one. Why?
Because she is a very pressuring kind of person. I mean, like, she pressures you into things very easily. That's how I got into the
And when was the first time you gave her a phone?
That first one, I believe, was probably in March.
Is that when it was, Miss Stuck?
Probably. I don't quite remember when it was given to me.
March.
I did not
And the
borrow
next?
it.
That one was at the end of May because I'm almost for sure about that.
Was the end of May. Now, Miss Stuck, let me explain something to you, madam. She cannot give you that first phone because she cannot make a contract. She was only 17.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
So you have to pay her for that first phone.
I actually have it with me right here.
So you have the phone she gave you?
Yes, it's right here.
Okay, give it back to her.
Okay.
That's good. The second phone was after she turned 18. You want to tell me about that?
That one was my audio box phone. I had just gotten it probably like, it wasn't even a month old. And I had just gotten some graduation money, so I went and bought a new one. So I had lent her that one.
No, I don't believe you. Ashley, I don't believe that, sweetheart. Because what you just told me is you had a phone, but you got a lot of graduation money. So, stupidly, you had a phone already. You went out and bought a different phone. So now you have two phones. Well, you have two phones and you only have one mouth. So I don't believe you when you said to you could just borrow this phone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe that for some reason you're angry with each other now, and quite frankly, I don't care why. I have other fish to fry today.
And later today,
When you start working, you should have started paying her back for the rent that she paid when you weren't working.
Yeah, I was just under the impression that...
I don't care about your impression. Your impressions mean zippo, squat to me.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Britton and daughter Ashley Toon are suing Ashley's former friend, Christy Stuck, for rent and 2 cell phones. Christy is countersuing for credit card fraud and harassment.
You have no case, Miss Britton. I don't know what this whole case is about, but clearly it's about something that I'm not understanding. I'm not getting it. Miss Stuck, you want to tell me about your counterclaim in 3 minutes or less, please?
Yes, I am countersuing them for credit fraud.
Well, explain it to me.
Lisa had went into my account.
Who's
June
Lisa?
30th, Lisa Britton, right there.
Go ahead.
Had went in under my name and reactivated my phone in order to do an ESN number change under my account, my name.
She went into your account?
Yes, she went into the Alltel store at CY in Casper.
Show me. Prove it to me.
I have a paper here that is my pay stub, and I have this which shows what time I worked that day. I worked till 3:34 that day. It takes 2.5 hours at least to get to
Just
Casper.
a minute.
And,
Just a second. You're telling me that you didn't...
It happened.
Shh. You're telling me it didn't happen at a time when you could have done it.
Yes, yes. And
prove to me that the plaintiff did it.
Actually, she had called me that day, and I asked her if Ashley went in under my name and did it, and she said no, Ashley had tried, but she couldn't. So Lisa had went in and did that.
So she acknowledged that she went in and used
Yes.
your name?
Yes. She told me over the phone. I had talked to her.
Go ahead.
That is not true. What happened is the phone that Ashley had, the service was under her name, not the phone. She gave it to me, and I went into Alltel and had my phone number put on it. I didn't tell them that I was her. In fact, I even explained the situation.
You had
to
your...
them.
Okay. Was there any outstanding bill?
Yes. She had June, which was $146.88, and I have that here.
Okay. Did she pay any of it?
No.
Did you pay any of it?
Yes, I had to pay it with my debit card. I have my statement, bank statement here that
Okay,
shows that
good.
I
I'd
paid
like
it.
to see that.
Okay. And I have the bill also. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right here, and the receipt for the
Good.
phone's on there also.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
Now, this bill is dated May 27th.
Yes, and it's due June 16th.
I don't care whether it was due in June, madam. Her birthday is May 25th.
Yes.
All of these calls were made prior to her turning 18. She cannot make a contract, a valid contract, prior to her achieving her 18th birthday.
Yes.
She cannot do that.
Yes.
What I gather from your papers is you had a phone with a buddy plan, and the person you had the buddy plan with backed out. You asked her if she wanted to go on your plan with you. She said sure, but she was 17 at the time.
Yes, she was 17 at the time, but after she had turned 18, I did still ask her for that money.
I don't care whether you still asked her for the money, madam. The debt was accumulated prior to her becoming 18. She cannot create a contract, a binding contract, before she turns 18. Do you get it?
Yes, I get
Good.
that.
So your claim is dismissed, Miss Britton, because I don't think, A, that there was a rental agreement with the defendant. I think that's a lot of baloney. 2, with regard to the second phone, I believe your daughter, in fact, did give it to her as a gift. And I believe that for some reason you're angry with each other now, and quite frankly, I don't care why. I have other fish to fry today. As far as your counterclaim is concerned for credit card fraud, she cannot make an agreement with you or with a telephone company prior to her achieving her 18th birthday. So you paid the bill? You paid the bill?
I paid the
Good
bill.
for you. You also got a month's free rent. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There was a lot of stuff going on between the two of them that, you know, needs to be settled and forgotten about.
She did credit fraud under my name. She got to go in under my name and reactivate a phone. So is anybody going to be able to do that?
I feel the defendant, if she doesn't get her way, is, you know, pretty much a baby.
We fought, and then we got back along, then we fought, and this time I was just like, I'm over it.
We're not friends, and she's a liar.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rorick versus Blackshear. Step forward.
23-year-old Elizabeth Rorick is suing her former friend, Marcus Blackshear, for unpaid rent and for destroying 3 picture frames.
Miss Rorick, you knew the defendant from high school, is that right?
That's correct.
And he moved away, then moved back to town, and the two of you decided to room together. Is that right?
That's correct.
You were just roommates?
Yes.
Did you move into an apartment together, or did you already have an apartment?
We actually moved in the same day together.
Were you both on the lease?
No.
Just you?
Just
One
me.
bedroom apartment or 2 bedroom?
1 bedroom.
Where was Mr. Blackshear sleeping?
We shared a room.
So you were living together as a couple?
As friends.
As friends?
Yes.
Were you sharing a bed?
We were sharing a bed.
That's an interesting friendship. But the arrangement was that you would split the expenses.
Yes.
And Mr. Blackshear promptly lost his job, or didn't have a job.
He didn't have a job. Neither one of us had a job when we first moved in.
Well, how'd you expect to pay rent?
I had saved up money over the summer because I anticipated moving to Long Beach.
What was the rent?
The rent was $10.15.
How long did Mr. Blackshear live with you?
He moved out July 24th.
And you moved in when?
September 1st was technically our first day.
First 3 months, Mr. Blackshear did not pay rent. That he agrees. Correct, sir?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to a certain degree. I agree with that.
Well, you said that in your complaint, in your answer.
Like, I didn't start actually paying rent until November, and I moved in September.
That's incorrect. Actually, he started working in the middle of November. So
Mr. Blackshear, your answer, sir, says that you didn't pay the first 3 months' rent.
Well, September, October, so it should only been the first 2.
That's incorrect.
For the first few months, I paid no rent. That's what you said. But you say the majority of the items in the home were mine, and I paid a great deal of money to get our apartment livable. I owe her nothing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Rorick claims former friend Marcus Blackshear owes for rent and destroying her property. Marcus is countersuing for half the cost of a TV.
Okay, so you didn't pay her for the first 3 months. So that's $1,500.
It's $1,522.50.
Why didn't you pay her, sir?
Well, at the time when I had moved in, I didn't have a job. I wasn't completely broke at that point in time. You know, upon moving down there, I met a friend. I was able to get some real nice furniture and some things for the house at a cheap price. So I was putting funds towards that and, you know, towards other things in the house.
Then you say that he broke 3 picture frames when you had an argument. When?
July 24th.
Go ahead.
Came home from work. He had paid me $50 short of the July's rent, and he said that he was going to pay me $50 less because he decided to make the living room his room. I didn't agree to that, but he just gave me that rent. So later on, he said, you know, I do owe you the $50, and I will give that to you. When I came home from work July 24th, he said that he would give it to me like the next week, which was that Monday. I asked him about it, and he struck up an argument, didn't understand why he needed to give it to me if he was sleeping in the other room. I told him that, you know, you agreed to give it to me, and, you know, he ends up giving it to me eventually. And prior to that, he had asked if he could stay another month to continue to save up money, and we had agreed upon it. So when this debate came about the $50, I said, I think it would be best for you just to leave at the end of this month, the end of July, instead of staying an additional month, because I'm tired of, you know, bickering. And when I said that, he became irate, and I took the clothes out of my drawer in my room. He had his clothes in there, and I threw them on the floor. I said, get them out of my room. And he said, oh, you want to throw things? So he picked up, I had 2 glass candles. He threw the candles at the wall, thus breaking the pictures.
But you threw his clothes on the floor first.
I did throw his clothes on the floor, but I threw his clothes on the floor to get them out of the room. I didn't damage anything. They were sweatpants. I threw them on a carpet.
It was more than sweatpants. It was everything in those drawers, socks.
Well, you both lost your temper.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I agree. I did lose my temper. I did.
You both lost your temper.
Yeah, I completely agree to that. No, but I mean, I didn't damage anything. I didn't destroy his property.
Hey, when you lose your temper, you lose your temper.
We had an argument. I didn't destroy any property.
You lost your temper. He lost his temper. The property that you're complaining about is not very expensive property. You say that it's worth $100. They're not even worth $100, but that's what happens. Ms. Rorick, listen to me carefully. That's what happens when you lose your temper. You took his clothes. He says you disrespected his property. You took his property, you threw it on the floor. So he picked up something of yours, and he threw it on the floor or the wall, and it broke your thing. That's too bad. Yep. All right, but you owe, listen to me. You owe her $1,522 for rent. Now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for half the money that was invested for a television set.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the television set purchased?
I think it was sometime around beginning of June.
June of
06.
How much was it?
It was $290. I work at the store that I bought it from. It was a floor model, so we got a nice discount on it.
Who paid for it?
We actually went half on the TV.
Is that right?
50-50.
Yes, we did.
And who has the television?
I do.
Okay, so?
The agreement was that when we purchased the TV, he said that when he moves out, he would like to keep the TV, and he would give me half, which is $145.
But
when he left the TV, and he did not come back and give me the $145. He came back a week later and asked me to give him $145 for the TV.
How much? Just a second now. Listen, you know, this is not rocket science here. I went to school many, many years, so I can do really complicated cases. This is not so complicated.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Okay. How many televisions do you have in the house?
2.
Where are they?
One in the living room and one in the bedroom.
And how large is the one in the bedroom?
I believe maybe 27 inches.
How many television sets do you want in the house?
2.
You want the big one that's there?
Yes.
And the little one in the bedroom?
Yes.
Then you have to pay him for the big one that he paid half for.
That's fine.
Great. So I'm going to deduct $145 from the $1,522, which leaves $1,377. That's what he owes you for the rent. Clear, sir? Nobody has to pay for you. You work, she works, you're 2 young people. When you start working, you should have started paying her back for the rent that she paid when you weren't working.
Yeah, I was just under the impression that...
I don't care about your impression. Your impressions mean zippo, squat to me. What I'm telling you is what is reasonable and what is common sense. What's common sense is that you would have said to her at some point, listen, I don't have the rent. As soon as I start working, I'll pay you for the rent. And you started working, and you did pay her for the rent, but you didn't pay her what you owed her. You're not that good looking. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,377. That's all.
Close are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is unreal. I don't owe her that money.
It's just 7 long years, and it finally came to a head.
That's what it is.
Guys, case number 240 on the calendar in the matter of Pinnell versus Allman. Pleasure, been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Ms. Pinnell, This is your complaint. Your complaint is that the defendant made a false charge against you to Child Protective Services and has been harassing you by interfering with the phone contact that you want to have with your former husband, sort of as a condition of putting your daughter on the phone.
Yes.
Miss Ullman says it is you that is harassing her and your former husband, and that she was at one point concerned about the child's welfare. She did, in fact, call Child Protective Services on one occasion, and she has a counterclaim. First of all, Ms. Pinnell, the defendant is the fiancé of your former husband.
Right.
You and your former husband have one child.
Yes, we do.
That child has cerebral palsy?
She has mild cerebral palsy, yes, Your Honor.
How long were you married?
For 8 years.
And where did you live when you were married?
We lived in Florida.
You were divorced in the state of Florida?
Yes, we were.
Does your former husband have a visitation schedule that was fixed by the judgment of divorce?
No, he doesn't.
Is there a reason he does not?
I have no idea. He didn't ask for visitation for his daughter. He just asked for shared parental responsibility.
So you have shared custody?
I'm guessing, yes, Your Honor. She lives with me.
Yes. Do you have shared custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why I didn't ask for visitation, because he has shared custody. Now, you recently moved from the state of Florida to the state of Kentucky.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who lives in Kentucky?
My mom does.
Did you have court permission to move?
We weren't divorced at the time when we moved. I was told that
You were not divorced?
We were not divorced when I moved to
When
Kentucky.
did you move?
I moved to Kentucky last year at the end of October of last year. Our divorce wasn't finalized until May of this year.
How long had the matter been pending in court?
For 2 years.
So that the matter was pending when you relocated?
Well, I hadn't been served with...
That's not what I asked you. The matter was pending when you relocated?
Yes.
Did you give your husband any notice that you were moving to the state of Kentucky?
Yes, I did.
That's a lie,
When?
Your Honor.
Shh, don't speak. When did you give him notice?
I tried to call him 2 weeks prior to me moving because there was a hurricane. Hurricane Wilma came through. I was trying to contact him 2 weeks before I knew because I was told by his parents.
Listen! I asked you a simple question.
2 weeks before we moved.
You said you didn't get to him 2 weeks before you moved.
I couldn't get a hold of him.
So the answer is you did not notify him before you moved.
Right, I did know. Sorry, Your Honor.
Is that the answer? You did not notify him before you moved?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pinnell, I will tell you right now that if I were the family court judge hearing your relocation case, you would be back in Florida in a heartbeat. You have no right to take a child out of the jurisdiction and away from a parent when there is a pending divorce case without going before a judge and saying, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to relocate hundreds and hundreds of miles away, and I want your permission to do it. Now, I can understand from an emotional perspective, Kentucky is where your mother lives, why it's more comfortable for you to be there, why it may be even more comfortable and better for your daughter to be there. That is a judicial determination. Once you get married and have a child, you don't get to make that decision by yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm telling you that right now. There was no excuse for that.
Sure.
Now, Miss Ullman, let's start with you.
Yes, ma'am.
You called Child Protective Services. Do you remember when?
I actually have the report. It was June 22nd, 2006 at 9:18 a.m.
Can I see the report, please?
Yes, ma'am. I have it highlighted where
Just a minute.
DCF. I'm sorry.
I can read. It's the first prerequisite for this job. Ms. Pinnell.
Yes, ma'am.
You say that your child has cerebral palsy. When was she diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
She wasn't diagnosed until she was 6 years old.
Diagnosed when she was 6?
Yes, Your Honor. She's a very...
This report indicates that there was an allegation of medical neglect.
Yes.
Made by you. Yes. And this says, for the allegation of medical neglect, there are no findings to support this maltreatment. Medical records confirm that the child was seen by the doctor on February 3rd, 2005 and August 5th, 2005. There is no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy and does not need to take medication. Now, can you tell me why you haven't taken a child who suffers from cerebral palsy to a doctor in a year?
Actually, she's been to her pediatrician of this year.
Well, not according to this report, madam. I'm just telling you.
Well, I don't know what doctor she saw because I have a statement here from her current pediatrician, which she was seen on May 19th of this year.
Can I see that, please?
Stating that she was sent to orthopedics because she was complaining because my daughter gets muscle pains.
What's the name of your regular pediatrician?
Doctor, that's the one that's in Kentucky.
She sees him every 6 months.
Okay. You called June 22nd, 2006 from Naples, Florida.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the concern that you had, madam?
Because she was not taking the proper care of the child, because we were under the pretense of her saying that Alyssa has cerebral palsy when we found out that she does not have cerebral palsy, that it was just a...
How did you find out she doesn't have cerebral palsy?
The DCF report.
Okay. Do you have anything there that would support your statement that your daughter suffers from cerebral palsy?
No, I don't, Your Honor, because she has a very mild case of cerebral palsy.
You keep saying that she has a very mild case of cerebral palsy. All I want to see is something from a physician that indicates that she has cerebral palsy.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If that's true, Mr. Pinnell, that's a serious problem that she has. There's a medical term for that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carleen Pinnell claims her ex-husband's fiancée, Stacy Allman, falsely accused her of child neglect. Stacy is countersuing for harassment.
Well, when was the last time she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
The last time she was diagnosed was when she was 6 years old. I can't
Where?
remember the exact dates.
Where?
In Jacksonville, Florida, when my ex-husband was stationed in the Navy. And
you were together?
Yes, and he was present.
Step up.
With me.
Shh. Your last name is?
Pinnell, Your Honor.
Mr. Pinnell, time you were in the service and your daughter was 6 years old, were you present when your daughter was diagnosed with cerebral palsy?
I was off and on, Your Honor, because I was out to sea and I came back.
Were you ever advised by your then wife that the child had cerebral palsy?
She told me mild case of cerebral palsy, but I didn't see any documentation or anything from a doctor saying it was true.
What were the manifestations that she had of having cerebral palsy?
She said that...
No, that you saw.
Oh, that I saw? I didn't see anything. Alyssa would get, her legs would get weak, but that could be just average, just playing.
And what would you do for her if her legs got weak?
If we were walking, we'd stop walking and just relax for a
You mean
little
she would say
bit.
she was tired?
Yeah, she was tired.
Okay. When was the last time you saw your daughter?
It was about over 3 years ago.
No, Your Honor. The last time he saw his daughter was a week before Easter in 2005.
Wrong.
Shh. Where?
I'm sorry, 2004, when she was staying at my mom's house.
That is a lie.
You know, your problem, Miss Allman, is that you have taken too much of an active role in something that has nothing to do with you. That's your problem. That's his responsibility. He's the father. You're not. You are, so far, nothing to this child. You're not even a stepmother to this child. You're nothing. And you have no stake. So I don't know whether Miss Pinnell is a nut or not. That's possible. She's his nut, not yours. I understand that she thinks that she's being protective of you, and she's going to set the ground rules because now this is her turf, right? You can't let that happen. This is the mother of your child, and if she's a nut, she's your nut.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's possible because certainly if you have a child who has a very, very, very mild case of cerebral palsy, you make sure that that child is seen on a regular basis. And for the years that you lived in Florida, certainly, you would have had another diagnosis from a doctor in Florida that says the child suffers from mild case of cerebral palsy. And that's non-existent because she doesn't have anything, and the state of Florida says there is absolutely no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy. So if that's true, Mr. Pinnell, if that's true, that's a serious problem that she has. There's a name for that, a medical term for that. Somebody who requires attention by making believe somebody else is sick as a way of getting attention for themselves, attention, sympathy, or whatever. I don't know if that's the case, but clearly, based upon this report, it's the case. But, Ms. Pinnell, there is absolutely no indication that she didn't have at least some basis to call Child Protective Services. So the first part of your case is dismissed with regard to false allegations to Child Protective Services because Child
But,
Protective...
Your Honor, that's not the one that I'm talking about. The ones that I'm talking about is when there was one that was filed in 2005 in September and January 3rd when she had called saying that if Alyssa does not get medication, she could suffer seizures and or die. I mean, in here she stated that my daughter has to be on medication or she'll die.
Listen to me, madam. You've been telling people for the past at least 6 years that your daughter has cerebral palsy.
Yes.
And I'm not an expert. Certainly I'm not a person of medicine, and I don't know whether all children who have cerebral palsy take medication.
No,
or
they don't, Your Honor.
well, I don't know that. And you're not a doctor either. So,
But, Your
if
Honor,
this has... Go ahead.
I also have an email stating from Miss Alleman that she's sitting there saying I refuse to get the medication she really needs.
So?
I mean, she's even sat there and said that my daughter's supposed to be on medication, and my daughter's not supposed to be on medication. My daughter goes to a physical therapist twice a week for her outpatient therapy because she has a hard time writing because of her mild cerebral palsy. She's also in speech because of it.
Well, all I can tell you is this report from Child Protective Services says, I'm going to read it to you one more time.
I understand, Your Honor, but
there is no medical evidence to support that the child suffers from cerebral palsy. Listen, if I had to put a child in all kinds of therapy for cerebral palsy and the state finds that the child does not have that disease, it's something that I would certainly look into. Anyway, your case is dismissed with regard to any calls that she made, even though she shouldn't have made them. That was you. You can't be a wuss, Mr. Pinnell.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't put that on somebody else. You have to take care of the business of your family yourself. Right now, Miss Allman is not your family. Maybe one day you'll make her your family. Today's not the day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, as far as the harassment is concerned, let's talk about the harassment.
Okay, Your Honor. She has sent me numerous emails telling me to stop calling, you know, and just threatening to sue for custody, you know, and try to take my daughter away from me. Or
That's not harassment.
Well, I mean, in the emails, they're vulgar.
That's not harassment.
Okay.
To tell you to not call anymore, that she's going to try to take custody away, or they are going to try to take custody of your daughter away, is not harassment.
I also have it on tape.
That's not harassment.
But, Your Honor, it is because, I mean, my daughter, the only time that I call is when my daughter wants to talk to her father.
Then let your daughter pick up the phone and call her father.
She's tried, and the message shows that every time that my daughter, she'll call her father, she refuses to answer the phone.
No,
and my
listen,
daughter leaves a message, Your Honor.
Listen to me. My sense is, Miss Pinnell, that her father would like to speak to her. Her father doesn't want to speak to you.
I understand that. I have no
then
problem
you
letting
have
him
to
talk.
Then you should have picked a time before you moved to Kentucky, without court permission, for her father to speak to her.
Can you please just listen to the message, please?
Sure.
Okay. This is the first one.
You better knock your off, you stupid lying. I'm weeping my life. We broke you once before. Leave us alone. Understand that? Leave us alone. Don't, Mommy, don't do anything to me ever again. But a fat, ugly. Do you understand that? Leave me the phone.
Here's the second one.
11:22 a.m. Just for this, Paul will never speak to Alyssa ever again. And you will never, ever get a number to contact us ever again.
How many times had you called that day?
I had only called, my daughter had called on Father's Day to leave a message.
No. How many times had you called?
Just
She has
that
the
one
telephone
time.
records.
I have over a year's worth of phone bills to where Carlene has called constantly. I had to change my cell phone number twice.
How
my
many
home
times
number
a
once.
day?
There was one day where she called 50 times. I physically pulled the phone cord out of my wall because we didn't want to put up with it. It's when Paul calls to speak with with his daughter.
No, he's going to tell me that, not you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I've called I've called a lot of times, and she would answer the phone. I don't want to talk to her. I want to talk to my daughter. There was a while.
So when you call up on the phone and you say, "Is Alyssa there?"
Yeah.
What happens?
She would go into some speech of this, and this, and this. That's not what I wanted.
What do you do?
I wait a little while. She eventually puts Alyssa on the phone.
Okay. So,
So
Mr. Pinnell, you know you have a problem. You know what your first problem is? Her.
Yeah.
Your first problem is her, Mr. Pinnell. She's interfering in your business. You have to lay the ground rules with your fiancé, and the court has to lay the ground rules with your former wife.
Yes, Your Honor.
Listen to me. If he doesn't want to speak to you, Miss Pinnell,
I have no problem letting him
fine.
talk to his daughter.
Fine. Then let his daughter pick up the phone. You have a cell phone?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And call him, her father, on his cell phone.
The only number that I have is her cell phone. I don't have his cell phone for
Well,
his
maybe he
daughter
doesn't want to
call.
give it to you because he thinks you're going to disturb him.
I have an email from Miss Alleman stating that when Paul wants to talk to his daughter, that she's going to be the one making the phone calls, and that I'm to put his daughter on the phone so he can talk to his daughter.
So what's wrong with that?
I don't want her calling my house. That's the problem. Because any other time that she's called my house, she's been nasty to me.
Okay. What I've told you, Miss Allman, is, in my judgment, you have injected yourself into a circumstance that is none of your business. Mr. Pinnell has to take care of this problem on his own, and he should make it his business to speak to his daughter, who's 11 years old and who would like to speak to her father. And if you can't figure out some way to do that, that's a very sad thing.
It is.
You're
It is.
three people who are articulate And the only one who's suffering because of your ego, because of your macho, because of your wanting to have a certain place in this family, and because of your lack of backbone, quite frankly, Mr. Pinnell, the only one who's suffering is an 11-year-old child who doesn't understand why she's not speaking to her father. She's hearing all kinds of things from her mother as to the effect that you can call whenever you want. She's not going to separate the two of you. She wants you to have contact. That's a lot of baloney. If she wanted you to have contact, she wouldn't have moved back to Kentucky without telling you.
The reason why I moved back and why I moved to Kentucky was because of the harassment.
I doubt that, Mrs. Pinnell.
It's true, Your Honor.
Miss Pinnell, I doubt it. Now, Mr. Pinnell, do you have a court date with regard to this relocation?
No, I don't.
You're just as happy to let it go?
Yes, he is.
I gather you're just as happy to let it go. That's a shame, sir. That's avoiding your responsibility. You made a child, and you're supposed to make a child that feels as if both parents love her. It's a big mistake for you. Listen, I'm not going to resolve this, but this is not a case for small claims court. It's a case for the family court. I'm sorry that I can't resolve it. All I have to do is tell you this. What you complain about in your case is not actionable, and neither is what you complain about in your case. In any event, your cases are not actionable in the small claims court arena.
Your Honor,
and it's a shame. Listen to me. Forget money. It's not going to happen for either one of you. If you want me to resolve when you're going to make a phone call, I'll do that. You want me to resolve that?
Yes.
Fine.
And I also have one other...
Fine. No. I don't want to hear you one more thing. Tuesday and Thursday, 7 o'clock in the evening, your daughter picks up the phone, or you pick up the phone and call her. Your daughter picks up the phone, not you.
Yes,
your
Your
daughter
Honor.
speaks to her father. Is that satisfactory? Tuesday and Thursday
Yes,
at
Your
7
Honor.
o'clock?
He works until 11:30, 12 o'clock at night.
So
that's on
what is the time that you
weekends.
don't work?
The
Not
week.
you speak.
I'm sorry.
I don't want you to speak.
Sorry.
You don't get it. It's not your business. You're a stranger.
Your Honor, the weekends, Saturday or Sunday.
Fine. What time, Saturday or Sunday?
He can call anytime Saturday.
No, I want a time so that there's no
7
problem.
o'clock.
7 o'clock in the
7
evening.
o'clock is
Got
fine.
it?
On
Yes, Your Honor.
Saturday.
Got it? That's in 2 days, sir. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your daughter is going to be waiting for your phone call. Do you have her phone number?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Then call it. If your daughter doesn't pick up the phone at 7 o'clock, that is evidence that she is trying to further frustrate your contact with the child. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
Your Honor.
Speak not.
But his daughter's here.
Would you like to see her?
Oh, yes. Very much so.
Just you, not her. Do you understand? Just you. We'll make arrangements for you. Thank you.
Your Honor.
That's all.
All right, excuse you may step out. Of Lovegren versus DiNardo. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Lovegren, according to your complaint, you did what a lot of other people are doing these days, and you bought something off the internet. What you bought was what you thought was a rare comic book, rare and valuable comic book, from Mr. DiNardo, who would put it on the internet. You paid him the money, and when you got the comic book, it turned out to be, according to you, not what you had bargained for. Mr. DiNardo says you got exactly what you bargained for. He sent you the comic book that he had, in fact, advertised on eBay or what?
Correct, ma'am.
What kind of comic book was this, Mr. London?
Your Honor, this is an Incredible Hulk comic book, number 181. To collectors, it's a rare comic. It introduces a major character from Marvel Comics, the Wolverine, which means nothing except to a comic collector. It makes it very desirable.
You're interested in this? All right, let me see the advertisement, please. They put it up on the internet. Somebody puts it on, so I have this for sale.
This is the actual eBay advertisement.
That's what I want to see.
Nice taste.
Okay. This says, Mr. DiNardo, and I just want to know if you put this up on the internet. 9.9, the rare, mint, sought-after original. Bidding has ended for this item. Starting bid, $1,200. And then the description. I am looking for a good new home for my issue of The Incredible Hulk, number 181. This book has given me years of enjoyment. I can only hope the new owner gives this treasure the respect and caring it deserves. Oy, oy, oy.
Obviously, I'm a novice. I'm not a professional. He's...
Okay, no, listen to me.
Okay.
All I want to know, sir, is this what you put on the machine? On
That
the
is
machine,
one...
on the computer?
That is one of the items I put on the machine. That
Okay,
is not the
that's
one
all.
that we consummated for price on.
Well, just a second. We're not there yet, sir.
Okay, I'm just clarifying.
No, you're not clarifying at all. You're going to listen to me. You're going to answer my questions because In the unlikely event that you think that because I don't know a computer from a hole in the wall,
Never said that.
you're going to be able to fool, and I don't know a computer from the hole in the wall, but I do know legitimate versus scam. That's what I do know.
There was no scam.
Listen to me, sir. He sent you $1,200?
No.
How much did he send you?
$1,500.
Okay, so there was a bidding on this.
No, he had called me behind eBay's back, which is against the law.
Okay,
and
so he called,
contacted
just
me
a second, so he contacted you.
correctly. After took that off,
What was the date he contacted you?
I think it was November 15th.
Is that when you contacted him?
It would have been the 13th. I probably sent him an email.
Okay, and what did you say in the email?
The email basically would say, I see your comic did not sell, and I asked if the book was still available. He sent me an email on November 12th.
Can I see it, please?
The book is still available, and it's got his phone number on it.
So you called him?
Yes, I called him, and it was probably the 15th that we got together on the phone.
Okay, called him, he called you, whatever. You got together on the 15th, and did you make a deal for this comic book?
Yes, and I asked him, one, because I can see the picture of that book is a CGC graded comic. A comic like that comes encased in a clear plastic case. It's sealed in here. It is not counterfeitable. It has a barcode. It's registered with the company that grades it.
That's one that you got.
the
That's not
picture.
this one.
Right, that's just a sample comic, just to show you what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him when I talked to him, now this is a CGC graded book at 9.9. He said it was. I said, and you have the receipt for that? And he said he did. That convinced me we were dealing with the real thing.
Okay.
We agreed on the price of $1,500 then, and I wanted to try and pick it up the next day. I called him back.
Because you realized, sir, if you made this deal for $1,500, that was an incredible bargain.
Yes.
Because the value of it was how much?
I figured it could be worth $20,000.
Okay. So you thought that you had some dumb guy who didn't know what he had.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
It happens.
I know it happens. There are a lot of dumb people out there.
Right, and I'm one of them because
Right.
I sent them the money.
Because you got a piece of junk and he's got your $1,500.
Right, exactly. Yep.
Go ahead.
So anyway, I tried to call him back an hour later because I had to arrange to. We're 6 hours away.
Let me ask you a question. Cut to the chase. You sent him the $1,500.
I wanted to drive up there and pick it up. That way, I give you the money, I got the book. It didn't happen. Due to my job and maybe his, I don't know, we couldn't get together. On the 22nd, he called up and talked to my wife. He said that he was going to send the comic down to us. If I liked it, I could send him the money. I said, well, that's an incredibly generous offer. On the 25th, we got a call back that said his wife wouldn't let him send the book. Not without it being paid for.
Sure. Right?
Can't blame
a lot
that.
of scammers out there.
Shh.
Sorry.
During that conversation, I said, well, I believed he had this book, that it was a 9.9 graded book. We arranged to wire the money, and that cost $109 actually, plus the $20 shipping.
Still would be nothing if you could sell it for 20 grand.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you, my wife is sitting there, and you're thinking I'm a nut and stuff, but I don't spend $1,500 on a comic. I never have. In this case, I would, and the only way my wife would let me do that would be I said, look, I sell the comic, you keep the money. So anyway, I proceeded to wire Ray the money.
Sounds like she's the only one who's got a brain here.
Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's already admitted
malice. Listen to me. No, he just thought you were a schlemiel. He didn't realize that you were a scam artist.
And later today,
her children were coming to my house because they were starving, and I'm not using the term lightly.
Where are your children now?
My children are in foster care, Your Honor.
How long have you been involved with drugs?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Lovegren says he was ripped off by Raymond Donardo when he bought an Incredible Hulk comic book from him on eBay.
You wired the money, sent you the comic book, and it wasn't what you thought it was.
What it is just a strictly graded, and I could consider myself a professional grader. This book grades very good to fine condition. On a scale of 1 to 10, the 9.9 is on a scale of 10. This is about a 5.5. Its value is about $300.
And so you contacted him immediately and said, send me my money back.
Yeah, I said, I don't know, you know.
When you put this 9.9 comic book on eBay, Did you or did you not own it at the time you put it on eBay?
I did not.
Right. How could you offer to sell something that you didn't own?
Because I was supposed to own it by the end of the bidding time, but that deal fell through. So that's where the problem is.
That's a big problem.
Correct.
You can't put something on eBay that you don't own.
Why can't I?
Why? Because that's
Dealerships
like
put
that.
cars on eBay that are on consignment. They technically do not own the vehicle.
Having something on consignment, sir, is having a legitimate right to sell it.
Okay.
You don't have a legitimate right to offer something for sale that you don't own.
Okay.
And they just so happen to say, I will sell you this 9.9, and it happened to be the same comic book that you had that was that one, right? Same comic book, different condition, right?
Correct.
Karnak. What are the statistical probabilities of one schlepper who knows nothing about comic books having a nexus to two of the same comic books, The Incredible Hulk, at the same moment in history, and putting them on eBay at the same moment in history, one that's worth $300 and one that's worth $20,000? One in 10 million?
More than that.
More than that.
They're
One in, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my friend over here.
right.
One in 20 million?
Probably more than that.
So now I want you, Mr. DiNardo, to reduce what Bird, who is a very conservative man, by the way, has calculated at a 1 in 20 million plus probability of you having your hands on the same two magazines at the same moment in history when he wanted to buy it. Reduce that for me.
Okay. Actually, it was a week apart, but I had no idea that somebody that had sold so many comic books would think that he would be getting a $1,500 comic book that was sold for $20,000. It just did. I assumed that he was talking about the comic book that I originally had sold. It just doesn't make any sense that he would think, oh, okay, this comic book I'm getting for $1,500, and I'm going to make $18,000 off of that. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. He went behind eBay's back, which is illegal.
Just a second, did you hang up the phone on him?
No, I did not. But he's already admitted malice.
Listen to me. No, he just thought you were a schlemiel.
Uh-oh.
He just thought you were a schlemiel. He didn't realize that you were a scam artist. There's a difference between being a schlemiel and a scam artist. Let's say you go into somebody's house that's having a tag sale, and you see this comic book in a big old bin of junk that they say, listen, you can buy the whole barrel of stuff for $10. She says, I'm spending $10. This is worth $20,000. That's how a lot of people get paintings and wonderful pieces of antique stuff, because one man's treasure is another man's junk. You see, me, I wouldn't pay a quarter for this because it just doesn't appeal to me, right? Your wife wouldn't pay a quarter for this unless you told her you'd give her the profit, because she's just not interested. But what you did, sir, you see the statistical probabilities of you auctioning off around the same time two of the exact same magazines and one of the ads, putting down here. You have the other ad, by the way?
No, I don't, man.
No, you don't. You don't. Why wouldn't you have the other ad?
Because I moved and the computer.
Because you moved. Where?
It's on eBay.
Listen to me. Listen to me, sir. Move on this.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
That's
all.
Can I have the comic book back?
Bye.
Parties are excused. You missed up.
Can I have the comic book back?
You may not.
Okay, thank you. Well, I had a client at work that was willing to sell me the book for $3,000.
I was told there is only one in existence. It's owned by a comic shop in Hawaii. Its asking price is $50,000.
Never sold a comic book, never used the eBay before, never sold or bought, and will probably not again.
It's all scam.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Popejoy Swihart versus Ward. Step forward, please.
Student Rachel Popejoy and her father, Dwayne Swihart, are suing their former friend, systems analyst Margaret Ward, for misappropriating bail money meant for Rachel. Margaret says she used the money to buy food for Rachel's kids.
Miss Popejoy, you were arrested.
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
On November the 12th.
What were you arrested for?
I was arrested for willful reckless driving, driving on suspension, and no proof of insurance.
And this was the first time you were arrested for something like that because
Correct.
they fixed very high bail.
Right.
And this is your complaint. You contacted your father.
Correct.
Told him you were in jail and could he please wire how much money?
$1,500.
For your bail?
Yes, ma'am.
And he said probably reluctantly, okay. And he wired the money because you were living where, sir?
In Michigan.
And where were you living?
Omaha, Nebraska.
You wired the money to Miss Ward, who was a friend of your daughter's.
Correct.
With the instruction to go to court and bail her out.
Correct.
And when you went to court, they said you had been such a bad girl previously that the bail wasn't $1,500 but a lot more. How much?
$5,000 at that point.
Which you didn't have.
Correct.
So Miss Ward took $700 and put it in your prison account so that you could, you know, get toilet paper and toothpaste and magazines and gum and whatever you needed. And she kept $800 for herself.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So that's what we're here for today, the $800 that Miss Ward kept for herself. So, Miss Ward, the ball is now in your court, and you're going to explain to me why you did not return the entire $1,500 to Mr. Swihart.
I first became involved with Rachel in June, and her children were coming to my house because they were starving, and I'm not using the term lightly. They were really hungry.
Were you neighbors?
Yeah, they live about 2 blocks from me.
So you started to give them food?
Mm-hmm. And so I did. I started feeding her children all summer. They came to me, and Shelby about moved in with me, and there were times when she and her boyfriend Jason would leave and they'd lock up the trailer. They wouldn't come back for 2 days. It's 90 degrees outside. They had no water and they had no access to a toilet or anything. They always came to me every time, and I took care of her children all summer.
Okay.
Then somebody called CPS on them, and she came to me and asked me for help. So I bought $250 worth of food because they had nothing, and it took quite a bit to put food in. And they didn't have any electricity and any gas. That had all been shut off. So I went down the following Monday, and I paid her electric bill was $186 so I could keep the food cold. And she promised she would pay me back. About a week after that, her boyfriend Jason came up into our house, and they were coming in all hours of night and day. They would come to our house asking for money, and he stole $225 from me. And then a week after that, he came up and he stole another $200 from my granddaughter. So after I couldn't put the bail money down, I mean, there wasn't enough money. She called me the same day and said she talked to them, and they said to put the $1,500, it was okay to go ahead and put that on her books. Well, I didn't really trust that. So
yeah,
after
but you put only $700 on her books at the prison, and you kept $800.
Yeah, for the money that they had stole from me and the money she promised to pay me back.
Where are your children now?
My children are in foster care, Your Honor.
How old are your children?
15, 12, and 8.
They don't have any relatives who can help take care of them?
I don't have any family in Nebraska, Your Honor.
What about you?
We live in Michigan.
That's not Mars.
No, they can move up there anytime they want.
Well, why don't you make an application to the court to take your grandchildren, sir?
They told me they wanted to keep the children with my daughter.
Who did?
The counselors.
Well, are you still with this boyfriend?
Yes, I am. And that we're both clean and sober, have been. We go to meetings every single night.
For how long have you been clean and sober?
For almost 90 days, Your Honor. I've completed a parenting class. I've completed a reactive behavior. I've taken several classes.
Listen to me, my darling. How long have you and Jason been involved with drugs?
For probably 6 months.
And what about Jason? How long have you been with Jason?
For about 8 months. I've known him for a couple of years.
Listen to me very carefully. You're not supposed to be a selfish person.
You're right.
Do you think your children would be happier with their grandparents or in strange foster care?
With their grandparents.
Then you tell the social worker that you would love to be reunited with your children at the appropriate time. Now's not it. Probably until Jason has been clean and sober for 3-4 years. Until that time, the children would prefer to be with their grandparents.
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, I know you say okay. You're not supposed to be selfish. Ms. Ward, bottom line, my dear, you cannot resort to self-help. If you want to sue her for the money that she owes you. And if you want to sue Jason, sue him for the money you say he stole. But you can't take Mr. Swihart's money.
Out of Young versus Harris. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Young, Miss Harris and you had a long-term relationship, and you have 3 children together, although you were never married. Is that right?
Correct.
How old are your children?
My oldest one's 16.
That's this young lady here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My daughter Brittany, she's will be 14 this month.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter Ashley, 10 years old.
And how long did you and Miss Harris live together?
Just 9 years.
And all the children were born during that time?
Yes.
Could you just briefly explain to me why you had lived together 9 years, have 3 children, and why you never got married?
We were going to get married at one time, and the next thing I know, I was getting cheated on, what have you, and we could never get along.
I mean, if you were together 9 years, and you have a 16-year-old daughter, after
Correct.
the 16-year-old was born, well, hon, maybe we should make this official, you know, should get married, and then you have a 14-year-old. So 2 years later, you had another baby. Now you have 2 children, and you're living as a family. And 4 years later, you have another baby. So don't go what happened at the end of the relationship. What happened during those years that you were together? Were you married?
No.
Were you married?
No.
Did he ask you to get married?
He tried.
And why didn't you?
Didn't want to marry him.
You wanted to have his children but not marry him?
Well.
Well is not an answer. I'm curious.
No.
You have something against the institution?
No, I just had something against marrying him.
But not against having children with him?
Well, the first one was an accident, and the second one, we went ahead and had the other one. That was another mistake, but I couldn't get out of the relationship. I had tried, and...
And then a third? Wonderful. Okay, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that your 16-year-old daughter, who for some reason gets Social Security...
Right off me.
You're going to tell me about that in a minute. Left her mother's home and went to a friend's house. I assume this is the friend?
Yes.
Friend of yours?
Yes.
And when you found out about it, you said, well, not only am I sending child support to you, also she gets Social Security from me, and you had that changed.
Right.
But there were several months when your daughter's Social Security was going to Miss Harris, and also your child support for your 3 children was going to Miss Harris. You want her to pay you back that money, right?
Correct.
Or pay the money over to...
Pay the money over to my daughter.
Now, when did you and Miss Harris separate?
February 28th of 95.
And you are currently under a child support order?
Yes.
What do you pay?
I pay $25 a month.
$25 a month for 3 children, or for each of the children?
No, for 3 children.
And how long have you been paying $25 a month?
Since I've been on my disability.
And when was that?
That was in 2000.
What's the nature of your disability?
I screwed up my hands and my arms, and I screwed up my lower back.
How?
By lifting wire at a plant.
So what do you do now?
Right now, I don't do nothing.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
You mean you plan on not doing... That's 5 years
no,
you've been
I
doing
do,
nothing?
I do odds and ends.
Like what?
I help the landlord out.
Help the landlord do what?
I go around and help him collect the rent, mow the lawns, do the sidewalks in the wintertime.
Just a minute. You mow the lawns, and you do the sidewalks, and collect the rents.
Right.
Is that in the place where you live?
Yes, yes.
Paid in check or cash?
He takes it off my rent.
How does he take it off your rent?
He takes like $30 a month off my rent.
You think I believe that?
Oh, I'm serious.
Uh-huh. I don't. Now, your daughter left home because you weren't getting along, is that right?
Yes, she didn't like the rules.
Okay, so she left home. And this is your friend?
Yes.
Are you still friends?
No.
When did you cease to be friends?
Well, originally, Ray, Trina's boyfriend, he was the one that I had signed guardianship of Tiffany over to. Okay? It wasn't Petrina that I signed guardianship to.
Did there come a point when you told your daughter that she could stay with Petrina?
Yes.
When was that?
In February.
February of
2004.
And after February of 2004, how many months did you collect Social Security for your daughter?
The checks were directly deposited into my account.
How many months?
6.
How much does she get every month for Social Security?
At that time, she was receiving $98 a month.
And you were getting $25 a month from Mr. Young?
Yes.
And that $25 a month, you want a piece of that to go back to your daughter?
Correct.
How much?
Split it up between the three. It's
Are you
hard.
crazy? Are you crazy?
No,
Are
I'm
you
not crazy. It's
crazy?
just.
Let me figure
I don't
this
care.
out for you. Just a second. I'm going to figure this out for you, just so you see how ridiculous your position is. I have to put on my machine, and I'm not really good at this. But here we.
8.33.
What?
$8.33.
No. That's $8.33 a month. 8.33 divided by 30 equals 27 cents a day.
Yeah.
27 cents a day is what you contribute to each of your 3 children, sir.
I understand that.
A large goldfish consumes more.
Well, yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The fact that you've been collecting disability for the last 5 years is absolutely outrageous. The one thing I know that you do is you eat well.
And later today,
his roommate came out and said, well, one of y'all gonna fix my door. So I go to talk to him about it like, we're not no. Then he pushes me. So he pushes me a second and the third time. The third time he pushed me, I punched him back.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Young says his ex-girlfriend Sue Harris owes for the return of Social Security money meant for their daughter.
All right, you get back nothing. You're a scammer to begin with, because anybody that can mow a lawn and shovel a driveway can work. And the fact that at 38 years old you've been collecting Social Security disability for the last 5 years is absolutely outrageous. The one thing I know that you do is you eat well.
Well,
Mr. Young, and I don't believe that your landlord, for the work that you do, takes off $30 or so a month from your rent. That's a lot of baloney. So I suggest you go get a job, because there are people in the Social Security Administration who, fortunately for the rest of the taxpayers in this country, watch us. Now, that's dealing with your $25 that you want $8 back a month for to give to your daughter. That's not dealing with the Social Security. The Social Security payments should have gone to the lady who was taking care of your daughter.
Yes, I agree.
So why didn't you give it to her?
As payee, I couldn't just stop being the payee.
No, you don't have to stop being the payee, but you cash the checks. The checks were direct deposit into your account. You go, you take out cash, $98 a month, and you give it to her and you say, here's money for taking care of my daughter, who was living with you with my consent. You just have to do it. And you didn't. So for that, he's absolutely right. I won't like the fact that he's complaining about it, because he's not much of a provider.
I used the money to support the house on what he wasn't
The house is not
supporting.
the issue. The house is not the issue. Who is this?
That's my husband.
Does he work?
Yes.
That supports your house. Do you work?
No.
Well, you should. That supports your house. You don't take the Social Security check that's designed for her and use it to support your house. And if he needs more money to support the house, let him get 2 jobs. Her money doesn't go to support your house. 98 times 6 equals $588. Judgment for the plaintiff. The checks to be drawn to her name. What's your name?
Patrina Silver.
Patrina Silva. Thank you very much. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I understand what she said, but it was used for the house, and with him only paying $25 a month, it doesn't take care of 3 kids.
I'm happy. My daughter's happy about it.
He just loves to control me and think he has something over on me all the time.
I'm not going to sit back and watch you take advantage of your own daughter.
I have nothing against my daughter. She knows she can call the house anytime she wants to.
I'm glad it's done and over with, and I'm very happy with her decision.
I love my daughter.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of White versus Griffin. Step forward.
20-year-old student Vincent White is suing his college classmate, 22-year-old Bobby Griffin, for vandalizing his car. Bobby claims Vincent was spreading rumors about her and her friends.
You all go to college together?
Yes.
Is that the idea? All right. Mr. White, it is your claim that Miss Griffin vandalized your car.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Griffin says, well, she in fact participated in the vandalizing of your car. She sprayed it with a fire extinguisher or something, but it was not the defendant who caused the major part of the damage. It was friends of hers who keyed your car. and she feels as if she took responsibility by giving you $8 for car wash, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, first we're going to find out a little bit about it, and then I'll deal with your erroneous assumption. Why did you vandalize his car?
He was going around spreading rumors about me and my friends. We tried to confront him at the dorm.
When was he allegedly spreading rumors about you?
This was around November the 11th, 2004.
What was he saying?
He was calling me and my other friends, and we were trying to confront him about what happened, or why was he going around saying this when he knows it's a lie.
Okay. He was calling you bad names.
Yes, ma'am.
And you and your friends tried to find him?
Yes, ma'am.
To confront him?
Yes, ma'am.
How many friends?
It was me, Stephanie Gates, Yolanda, and Natalie.
So you and your friends went to look for him?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we were already at the dorm, so we were calling, and he's like, well, I'm going to be where I'm at. So we go to his room.
What year of college are you in?
I'm a freshman.
And what about you?
I'm a sophomore.
And he said to you, I'm going to be where I'm at?
Yeah.
I would say, stay with it.
So we go to his room, you know, to see if he's in there, but his roommate, he was saying that he wasn't in there. The other girl that was with us, Natalie, she went and took the fire extinguisher and broke the door handle. I didn't know about this incident until I was walking down the breezeway when his roommate came out and said, well, one of y'all gonna fix my door. And I automatically turned around like, you're not gonna disrespect me like that. So I go to talk to him about it like, we're not no. And he's still constantly like arguing, and he pushes me. I let the first one slide.
Just a second, who pushed you?
His roommate.
His roommate?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with his car?
I'm getting to that.
Well, let us get there.
So he pushes me a second, and the third time he pushed me, I punched him back. And they kind of grabbed me. So we're still trying to call him to talk to him. We go down and stand by his car. He don't ever come out. Yolanda, the one that keyed his car, that told him numerous times that she keyed his car, she started keying his car. I took the fire extinguisher and I sprayed it down. The same night I sprayed it, it was raining outside. So I fell. I didn't do any damage. And the same night it happened, we talked to him. He was making it seem like everything was fine. We gave him $8 so he can go get his car washed. Then we thought everything was fine. Everything was done and over with. Now all of a sudden we come back for second semester. Now I'm going to court. Why am I going to court when he know I did not key his car? And I have told him I did not key his car. If I do something, I'm the type of person, if I do something messed up, I'm going to tell you, yeah, I did it.
May I see the damage to your car, please? Okay. Step up. Your name?
Stephanie Gates.
All right, Miss Gates, what did you do to Mr. White's car?
I didn't do anything to his car.
You didn't do anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so it was just a couple of people in this little mob
Yes,
that
ma'am.
damaged his car?
It was 3, actually.
Okay, good. And they were friends of yours because that's what he was doing. He was telling bad things about you and your 2 friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Can I see the estimate, please?
Come on now, you had like 5 papers when I seen you.
All right. Now, Miss Griffin, you appear to be an intelligent young lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Got to stick with your English classes, but I think that you probably have potential. But I'm going to give you an exercise in criminal jurisprudence.
She didn't tell you to sit down. Oh, I'm sorry.
See how smart she is? I'm going to give you an example. Many years ago, when I was a judge in the family court, there was a young woman who got onto the subway, and she was wearing big hoop earrings like your friend is wearing. And a group of 4 girls got on the subway, and they went up to this girl who was on her way to school. She went to Fashion Institute of Technology. And they said, give us your earrings. And she said, no, get out of here. I'm not giving you the earrings. One of the girls grabbed her arm. Another one of the girls grabbed her hair and pulled her hair over. The third girl stabbed her in the back and stole her earrings and killed her.
Well, I don't think that's something
Shh,
like
listen, listen. I'm trying to make you understand what this verdict is about. The girl who stabbed her was tried as an adult in the Supreme Court. And the 2 other girls, the one who grabbed her by the arm, the one who pulled her hair, they said, we didn't kill her. We didn't even have a knife. We were just messing around with her a little bit. We never thought our friend was going to stab her. We're not guilty. We shouldn't be held responsible. You know what I said to them after I convicted them of murder? I said, but for the fact, you see, this girl who had the knife, she couldn't have killed her if it wasn't for the two of you. First of all, you're acting as a pack. And when you act as a pack, the pack gets certain energy. And second, if you hadn't immobilized her, and if it was just one-on-one, in all probability, that young girl would be alive. It's because of the three of you acting together. You gave her the ability to stab her in the back. You're all equally as guilty. If it wasn't for the fact that you and all of your friends in a pack were out hunting for him, who hasn't said a word? Nice tie, by the way. If it wasn't for this group looking for him, pulling the fire extinguisher off a wall, going out and waiting for him near his car, spraying it with the entire content of the fire extinguisher, somebody else said, now you sprayed it, now I'm going to key the car. Never would have happened. So I'm going to tell you what your responsibility is. You're responsible, you, jointly and singularly are responsible for $1,070. Now, if you choose, Miss Griffin, to sue the other two girls and say, listen, I now have a judgment against me for $1,070, but you two participated as much as I did, so each one of us should share that responsibility, you go ahead and find him and sue him. He chose you to sue. That's fine. He doesn't have to be fair. He's the victim. He's the victim. He's the one whose car got vandalized, so he's the victim. And if he's a jerk, and if he's saying stupid things and being disrespectful, one day he'll get his. Now, I don't know whether you said anything bad about her. You have a mother?
Yes, I do.
She alive?
Yes, she is.
Would you like it if somebody called her the name that she alleges you called her?
I would not.
So you have to be respectful of other people's feelings, sir.
Understood.
That's what you're supposed to go to college to learn if you didn't learn it growing up in your house. So you're supposed to at least learn how to be a responsible adult when you're in college. That's what somebody is paying all that money for. In the meantime, Miss Griffin, I'm entering a judgment for $1,070, and if you want to find your two friends and sue them for their share, you go.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. Holtz, it is your claim that the defendant sold you a horse that you specifically requested be a tame horse because the horse was for your father.
Yes.
That turned out to be a wild horse.
Exactly.
That couldn't be ridden.
No.
And Mr. Hummel says you don't get a refund. You had an opportunity to ride the horse. Must be something wrong with your riding ability.
Probably.
Is that right, sir?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am is better than yep. How long have you been in the horse business, Mr. Hummel?
I'm not really in the horse business. I have a small ranch that we use horses for lots of different things. We hunt and do a lot of trail riding on the horses. The horses are ridden by a lot of people, young people, people that can't ride very well.
How many horses do you have?
Right now, I have 6 horses.
And at the time Mr. Holtz bought his horse, how many horses did you have?
7 horses.
And why were you selling?
Well, because I needed some money. It was getting close to Christmas, and I needed some money.
Okay. Did you put an ad in the paper?
I put an ad on a local website.
Okay. Can I see a copy of the ad, please?
Yes. The title says Well Broke Horses.
For sale, well broke horses. Prices vary. Okay. So you were selling 5 of your horses?
That's correct.
Did you sell all 5?
No.
How many horses did you sell?
Thus far, I've sold 3 of them.
Well, my math isn't that great, as Bert can attest, but if you have 6 horses now and you had 7 horses then and you sold 3...
I picked up a couple more horses, though.
So you bought some more?
Yep.
When did you buy the other horses, sir?
About a week ago.
From where?
From a friend of mine.
Okay. Now, what did you want a horse for, Mr. Hulse?
Some of my friends and I have gone in on some horses. My dad was looking to join our little group and buy another horse to ride. He's totally inexperienced.
How old is your father?
55.
A baby. So he's an inexperienced rider, and you want him to have a
Yes,
easy
and a little bit heavier, so we wanted a stout horse.
Tell me what happened when you answered the ad.
I called Greg on the 10th of December around 12 o'clock. Told him I was interested to come out that day and look at some horses. He said he'd have some saddled and ready by 2 o'clock. So Ryan and I went to his ranch, and we said we were looking for a horse that was on the lower end of the $1,000 to $1,500 range. He showed us 2 horses that were in that range. He told us that Angel, the horse we ended up getting, was on the lower end of that range because she didn't have papers.
Where did you get this horse from?
From a buddy in Cleveland, Utah.
When?
Quite some time ago. I can't tell you the exact time. I've had the horse for quite a while.
Well, years. Give me some idea.
Close to a year.
Well, that's not so long, sir.
No.
What's the person's name that you bought the horse from?
Richard.
How much did you pay for the horse?
I paid $900 for the horse.
Now, the other horse that you showed the plaintiff, where did you get that horse from?
Same person.
When?
Same time.
So you bought the 2 horses together?
That's correct.
How much did you pay for the second horse?
The same.
Did you buy any of your other horses from Mr.
Yeah, but what's this have to do with this horse?
I ask the questions, you answer the questions.
Of course I have.
Are any of the other 6 horses that are now in your possession horses that you bought from Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
All of them.
So you bought all your horses from Mr.
Yes, he's a very close friend, and we ride a lot together.
Did you ride the horse, Mr. Hulse?
Yes.
And is your father about your stature?
No.
Is he larger or smaller?
He's heavier and shorter.
So you were satisfied. Now, what happened after you bought the horse?
We paid Greg the money that day. The next morning, around 9 o'clock, Ryan and I went to trailer the horse. And the horse took us about 2 hours to get her in the trailer. She acted like she'd never seen a trailer before. By that time, Greg had already cashed our check, and we tried calling him a few times to let him know the problem. We couldn't get a hold of him.
Well, I don't understand. Didn't you go back
That's
to
not
where
true.
the horse was?
Yes.
Where was he?
He wasn't there.
Was that work?
He gave us permission to go get it. He knew he wasn't going to be there.
So you called him?
Yes.
And what did he say when you called him?
He didn't answer. We finally got the horse in. We cajoled her with some oats and stuff, and then dropped her off at our field. And then Monday, we tried to saddle her. And
Now, when you went to view this horse for the first time on the 10th of December, did you tell Mr. Hummel what you wanted the horse for?
yes,
What did you tell him?
I told him that my dad was going to be making the purchase and that he has no experience, and so we need just a leisure horse that anybody can ride.
Okay. Now, I see that you have a video.
I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
Your Honor, may I make a comment on this video?
Yeah, tell me who you are.
My name's Adam Marriott. I'm one of the riders in the video. Just like to say a few things as we watch it.
Are you a friend of his? Is that what you...
I am, yeah. You see here Ryan right here. He's the rider right now, going up to the horse, and she pins her ears back, which means she's angry. And then obviously you can see she kicks. That could be dangerous. I mean, we're about to put up a beware of horse sign in front of the pasture.
Judge, can I say something, or is it just their turn?
No, it's their turn.
Okay, as we saddle the horse, he has to hold her head really tight or else she'll turn around and bite us. And so we put her on pretty gently, and here she goes, trying to stomp on us and rear up a little bit. So we ride about 10 paces, try to turn her head very gently, she starts bucking. You see I'm swaying with her just to stay on. And here she goes, she rears up.
Okay, and that was you riding the
That
horse?
was me riding.
Are you an experienced rider, sir?
I am.
Okay. Now it's your turn.
Okay. When they came over to my ranch, we saddled up 2 horses. I had an inexperienced employee of mine get on the horse first, rode the horse around. They got on the horse, him and those 2, and rode off my property away from the herd. If a horse is going to act up, it's going to be during that time period when you pull it away from a herd.
How do you account, sir, for that kind of behavior?
Okay, let me finish. They rode the horse off my property for quite some time. They came back and said, we want this horse.
I understand that that's what you're saying, sir. I understand.
I can get a horse to do that. It looks like they're inexperienced people, and maybe I don't know what they've done to the horse. It's an animal. It's a living thing. It's not a machine. The horse never acted like that prior. I've had little kids on the horse, inexperienced people on the horse, and they rode the horse.
When did you first contact Mr. Hummel and tell him that you were having difficulty with the horse?
3 days. I have my phone log right here showing the cell phone that matches the ad. It's highlighted. 3 days after we purchased the horse. He told us the horse was in heat, that it was away from the herd, it needed to calm down. He kept referring to the horse as a sweetheart. But, I mean, she just progressively got worse. And we gave him a week. I just believed him for a week.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There's something fishy with regard to your story about where you get all your horses and when you bought them.
Why is that fishy?
Because I could tell from your gait, sir. That's what I do for a living. I can tell when somebody's not telling me the whole truth.
And later today,
My daughter was involved in a murder. There was 3 involved in the crime. She was a driver of a getaway car, so she got 18 years.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jeremy Hull says fellow horse owner Greg Hummel sold him a horse that had not been broken.
Okay. When you called him again and said that her behavior hadn't changed, what did he say?
He just was saying, what do you want me to do? What do you want from me? And so I said, I want my money
I want
back.
you to take your horse back.
Yeah. No. She's not well broke. He accused me of calling him a liar and wanted me to call back and apologize to him.
Well, he's not telling the truth. I offered him another horse out of the 7. I said, come and bring the horse back.
He offered Rose.
For what? Let me finish. He's had quite a bit of time.
Absolutely.
We sat there and saddled those horses up right in front of him.
I understand that, sir. I'm not calling you a liar.
No.
I'm not suggesting that you... Listen to me. I'm not calling you a liar at this moment. I don't believe everything that you're telling me about your friend in Utah with the horses, because I can tell when somebody is not telling me the whole truth. There's something strange about that, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there's something peculiar about it. But I'm not accusing you of doing anything before they arrive. Put your hand down.
I'm sorry.
Don't you notice that I see you?
Yes,
I'm in the middle of talking.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not accusing you of doing anything, sir. He may accuse you of maybe giving this horse a little something to calm it down while he was there. I didn't say that at all. All I'm suggesting is there's something fishy with regard to your story about where you get all your horses and when you bought them.
Why is that fishy?
Because I could tell from your gait, sir. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 35 years. I can tell when somebody's not telling me the whole truth, Mr. Hummel. And whatever else you did today with regard to your story about where you got the horses from, when you got the horses, what you paid for them, and how long you've had them, something isn't quite right. I don't have to necessarily figure out what that is because it's not particularly relevant to this lawsuit. I understand what you're telling me, that they came, that they saddled up the horses, that they rode off of your property, that the horse behaved reasonably on your property, that they came back the next day. The next day when they came back, they found that there was slight difficulty with the horse, getting the horse into a trailer. But that's a possible problem with most horses. They don't like to go into trailers. It's a confined space. They finally got it in. Practically immediately, they called and said to you, listen, we answered an ad for a well-broken horse. I am an experienced rider of horses, and I can't ride them. And certainly, my father can't ride them. So since you were aware, Mr. Hummel, that this horse was being purchased for a particular purpose, you have two choices. Either you say, listen, let the buyer beware. You buy a horse, you take it as you find it, and you're stuck with it. Or a horse must have a warranty, in this case, that it could be ridden, and it could be ridden by someone who is inexperienced and not a good rider. And clearly, based upon what I saw, that's not a possibility. So you're getting your horse back, Mr. Hummel. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100, which is what you paid. Is that right?
Yes.
Bring him back his horse. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
They rode the horse off my property. Obviously, the guy, maybe his wife said he couldn't have the horse.
He wasn't man enough to deal with the horse and our problems in the first place.
I'm an experienced horseman. I've been through a fire science program.
It's crazy. We have 5 other horses, and they're a dream.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Stewart versus Marshall. Step forward, please.
Electrician Terry Stewart is suing her daughter, 28-year-old nurse's assistant Amy Marshall, for a loan to pay off a bingo hall fine.
Miss Stewart, this is your daughter?
Yes.
You look very much alike. Do you know that?
Yep.
One day you're going to wake up, 10 years from now, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to say, when did I become my mother? You say your daughter owes you some money for a loan.
Yes.
A loan that you made a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Your daughter says that it was not a loan, it was a Christmas gift. You made a Christmas gift to one of your other children, and you take care of one of your other children, so she doesn't understand why you're suing her. Right?
Right.
When did you make this loan, and what was it for, Miss Stewart?
I took out a loan for my daughter when she had called me and asked me because she had...
Give me the date.
The date was 2002.
Do you remember what month in 2002?
December.
Tell me, to the best of your recollection, what the telephone conversation was.
She called me and asked me for a loan. For the reason is because she owed a lawyer some money.
What did she owe a lawyer money for?
She had bounced a check for $40. Somehow it just got out of hand, and a lawyer got a hold of the check because it was a bingo hall, and a bingo hall won't hold on to it too long. So they took her to court, and they said that it was supposed to owe them $800. And so she goes, Mom, I'm going to have to go to jail if I don't pay the $800.
So she gave somebody a bad check?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Long story short, it ended up being a bad check, yes.
I like to cut to the chase because I have other things to do today. So your daughter was arrested for bounced check?
I was never arrested.
But you were threatened with arrest unless you made good on this check?
Right.
So you called your mother?
Yes.
And what did you say to your mother when you called her?
I told her I was going to end up going to court for the check, but the lawyer was willing to settle, so I needed the money right away to pay the lawyer.
And how much did you tell her you needed?
I don't remember offhand.
She asked for $1,500 because she needed $800 to pay for the lawyer, and she wanted $700 to help her with the children for Christmas.
And what did you say?
And I said I would co-sign because this started out to be a co-sign thing, but then I couldn't co-sign. I had to take the loan out in my own name. And I had asked her, if I do this, please don't renege on the loan.
So you took out a loan?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
The thing of it is, she helps my sister out every single day. She takes care of her kids. She gives her money. She goes to see her. She was going every week for the first couple years to see her. She drives right by my house.
Your sister's in jail?
Yes.
What is she incarcerated for?
I don't know exactly.
I do. My daughter was involved in a murder,
a robbery?
Yes, a mass armed robbery. And there was 3 involved in the crime. She was a driver of a getaway car, so she got 18 years.
Who takes care of her children?
I do.
How old are her children?
8, 7, and Trinity will be 5. I've had Trinity since she was a day old.
Because my sister didn't want her. Yep. I know.
How old are you?
28.
You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many?
3.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. To the father of my 2 younger children.
How long have you been married?
Almost 6 years.
So what are you so mad at your mother about? Because she takes care of your sister's 3 children and she goes to visit your sister?
And she goes right by my house to go see her. She doesn't stop. She actually works with my husband. And I've seen her at my husband's work. She never knows so much as a hi. She walks right by me.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you think she's angry about?
This is anger way before this loan. I hadn't seen her for almost 6 years. She wasn't around for any of my kids' births. She wasn't around for my wedding. Wasn't around for my graduation. Nothing.
Where were you?
Where was I? I was told I wasn't allowed to see her by her father. I wasn't allowed to talk to them. She knows this.
Were you raised by your father?
Yes, my father and his wife. But I moved out when I was 20.
Finally, after 7 years, her husband told her that she should look me up, and she did. And she called me, and we started talking.
Okay. Miss Marshall, I read your answer.
Mm-hmm.
And what your answer says was these were gifts. Well, clearly you've acknowledged today, even though you may not recognize it, that this was a loan. And what it appears to me is that you're angry because your mother has taken on the burden and the responsibility of your sister's children, and she has neglected you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you feel as if you're entitled to this. The law doesn't work that way. Your mother took out a loan because you called and asked her to take out a loan.
Right.
You paid her back some of it.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, I did.
So it's unfortunate for your mother that she's had to take on the responsibility of raising 3 children until they're grown.
May I stop? I also have an 8-year-old son of my own.
So now you have 4 children.
Yes.
Who helps you take care of the children?
My mother does.
Your mother?
Yes, my mother.
How much do you owe your mother?
I made 4 payments. That was $400. And I gave her my big screen TV. She gave me $300 cash for it, and $500 was supposed to be towards that loan. So that's $900 towards the loan that was paid.
No, the $500 we begin with, it's the first time she got $500 from me for my taxes. So I gave her $500, and then when they were selling the great big screen TV, I said, I'll give you $300 because I knew they needed some money, but you still owe me the $500 towards the taxes that you borrowed from me. So this will set it straight.
Does that sound familiar?
No. It was supposed to go towards that loan.
Well, you people have to keep better records. How many payments did your daughter make to you in cash for this loan? I'm not talking about television. I'm not talking about anything else. How much?
$800 in cash she paid towards that loan.
Okay, good. You don't see her children?
She wouldn't let me see my grandchildren.
Why don't you stop by her house when you go to visit your daughter?
I didn't know where she lived. Somebody else had to tell me where she lived.
You have any objection to your mother stopping by and seeing the children?
No, I don't. I encourage it. I want to see my nieces, too.
We can do that.
Well, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that on Sunday?
That's when she usually goes to see my sister.
Why don't you do that on Sunday?
Okay.
What time do you go to visit your daughter?
I leave about 10 o'clock in the morning.
And what time do you get back?
About 9 o'clock at night.
That's a long day.
I take my mom to see her handicapped brother, which my mom is handicapped, so I take her when I go to see my daughter so my mom can see her brother.
Oh, my goodness. Why don't you make time on the weekend?
Yes.
To go to see your daughter with her 3 nieces who she would like to see, visit your grandchildren, spend an hour.
I can do that. I miss my grandchildren. I can do that.
And I miss my mother. You know, I actually, the day before I got these papers, I actually called her to reconcile.
She did.
You know, and I don't know why I always have to be the one that calls her.
Well, you shouldn't be.
I shouldn't.
All right, let's make arrangements to do it on Sunday.
We can do that.
Okay? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I order them.
Of Sear versus Zanger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Sear, you and Mr. Zanger are neighbors.
Yes, we are.
But I gather the properties are spread out.
They're very far apart.
How many acres do you have?
I have 6.5.
And Mr. Zanger, how many acres do you have property?
Just short of 6.
This is your complaint, that Mr. Zanger keeps peacocks, and he also has dogs.
Yes.
You claim that his peacocks got out of his property and came onto your property and ate your screens. That his dogs attacked your dogs. You have vet bills that you want him to pay for. And that when you complained, he sent out a letter to neighbors that really vilified you and caused you a substantial amount of hardship. And you want to be compensated for that as well. Mr. Zanger says the screens, really no big deal. That his dogs are territorial, and as far as the letter is concerned, he never meant the letter to cause you any embarrassment or stress. He was really trying to be neighborly. That's your defense.
Exactly.
How long have you been neighbors?
It'll be 3 years in July.
Do you have pictures of your peacocks, Mr. Zanger?
I do.
May I see them, please?
They're so pretty.
How long have you had these birds?
About 4 years, I would say.
Do you keep them contained in any way?
Not at all.
Okay. So you understand if you don't keep them contained in any way, you are responsible for any damage that they cause.
Yes.
Good. So tell me about the damage that the peacocks caused, Miss Sear.
We have a 3-story house. They've gotten up there and ate all 5 of the screens on our 3rd story.
Can I see the pictures, please? They certainly are beautiful
Here,
birds.
they're 8 all the way
Thank
up
you.
to here.
Beautiful. Where did you get them?
In New York.
How many do you have?
Right now, only 2. The others were eaten by the mountain lions. And may I just add, at this point, I have them as security against rattlesnakes.
Well, that's nice, but they eat her screens.
That was none of my desire.
I understand that,
or
but
my
may not be your
doing.
desire, but they're annoying. This is the damage they caused.
May I address you in that point? This happened actually 3 years ago. I came back from New York, where I spent my summers on my island. And then I was told by one of the neighbors that Zach said his father had shot at the peacocks on the roof or above. I went up to the Sear residence. I introduced myself. They were new neighbors. And I met Mr. Sear, and I asked him if he did actually take aim at the peacocks. And he said, yes, he shot above them because they were on a roof. I said, okay, why don't you use a water hose? Water does really deter almost all animals.
Yeah.
And eventually Mrs. Sear came out, and she said, you know, they ate our screens, and I did not see them.
Okay, well, somebody wasn't watching the store. How much is it going to cost you to replace the screens?
The screens, I found a lower estimate for $85.79.
$85.79, cheap enough, taking care of the screens. Let's get to the problem with the dogs.
My son and his 9-year-old friend, my son was 11. They were walking.
Were you there?
I was at the house, no.
You the
Step.
son?
Yeah.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Zachary Sear.
All right, Zachary. When were you walking your dogs that you had a problem with Mr. Zanger's dogs?
About April 26th.
How many dogs were you walking?
I was only walking 2.
What kinds of dogs were you walking?
German Shepherd and Lab.
Mixed.
Were you walking them on leashes?
No. I was leading them with my hand.
And where were you walking them?
I was walking them down the road. We have like a halfway where it splits. And I go from there back and just check out the neighborhoods.
Okay. Tell me what happened, Zachary.
Okay, I was walking down and I see 3 dogs coming down. A St. Bernard and 2 looks like Black Labs and Rottweiler mixed. And the St. Bernard was okay. It just stayed away, but then...
Yeah, they're big and goofy and fun.
Yeah.
The St. Bernard's very sweet.
We have one in our family.
They are very sweet.
I know.
And then those 2 Rottweiler and Lab mixes, they were all sniffing, and then one started to bite the older dog.
Whose older dog?
Our older dog. They just started to fight and everything, and I was getting freaked out, so I tried to help.
And then they went to go attack the younger dog, which is our dog, but that dog just ran away. Then they started attacking my dog's legs, and they started pouncing on her chest and everything, and she had a big, like, hump or something on her side of her ribs. And then my mom came back up, and that's when we got contact with Mr. Zanger.
What did Mr. Zanger say to you, Miss Sear?
Well, I heard the boys screaming, so I got in my truck and I drove down. I met with the boys, so I put the boys and the dog in my truck, and as I came, he came down in his silver car. And I pulled up next to him, and I said, "Do you see what happened?" And he says, "Yes." He goes, "My dogs are territorial." He says, "Anything that walks over here, they think that they own the road." I said, "If your dogs are dangerous, you need to take care of your animals." My dog never left my son's side as they were pouncing him and everything else. She's not aggressive.
Okay, Mr. Zanger.
Thank you. I would like to say the dogs have absolutely no Rottweiler in them. Both of them are black, as you see. Both of them are female and spayed.
Good. That's very nice. They got off your property. Did you say to Miss Sear when she called you that my dogs are territorial?
I did say so, yes. You see, when we moved there, we saw the area is so rural, and I felt we have our dogs there also to keep the rattlesnakes away. I had to kill rattlesnakes right in front of my house, and I have a 6-year-old granddaughter, and I want her to be safe.
Mr. Zanger, my dear, you choose to live there.
Yes.
If you choose to live there, you have to have whatever protection you need for your 6-year-old granddaughter.
That's...
If you choose to have your 6-year-old granddaughter live in an area where she's playing in the front yard, but for your dogs and your peacocks, there are going to be rattlesnakes. That's your choice. You don't have the right to have dogs who've decided that their territory goes beyond the boundary of your deed. And when you do, you are responsible for the damage that they cause. So now I will see the letter.
And then he issued out a letter to all of my neighbors in May stating that when I brought him my vet bill, I knocked on the door, Mr. Zanger walked out, shut the door behind him, and I said, "The other day when your dogs attacked my dog, here's my vet bill." He took it, he looked at it, and he goes, "So what? Good." He goes, "Get off my property." I said, "You're responsible for what happens." He goes, "Get off my property right now." And I said, "It's very sad because I'm going to call animal control and it'll probably end up with your animals being destroyed." I did say that. I never said I was going to shoot them. His 6-year-old granddaughter was never there. He sent that out to my neighbors.
Can I read the letter, please?
Certainly.
Are you employed, sir?
No, I'm retired.
You got a lot of time on your hands. And anybody receiving this letter, Miss Sear, would understand that this is the musing of somebody who has a lot of time on their hands. It's not the kind of letter that you sue over. He's not only complaining about you, he's complaining about other people. He talks about other instances that happened in 1998 with his dogs. He talks about stolen car parts, which he doesn't attribute to you. It is the musings and meanderings of somebody who has nothing else to do. You don't get compensated for this. You do, however, get compensated for the injuries to your dogs and for the screens that his peacocks damaged. Those two amounts together come to $477.63. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it was fair. The only reason I brought the letter in was to prove that, you know, he was distributing lies to all my neighbors, but I think it was very fair.
I do applaud Judge Jodie for whatever she does and how she does it, and I abide by her decision.
He's got too much time on his hands.
Let bygones be bygones, and let's work together to a better neighborhood.
All parties in the matter of Feldman versus Martinez, step forward.
23-year-old college student Stephanie Feldman is suing her ex-best friend, 24-year-old Emily Martinez, for vandalizing the inside of her home with pink paint and rotting meat.
Ms. Feldman, the defendant moved into a home that you share with your father, according to your complaint, and you had an argument. After a period of time, she moved out, and it is your claim that she vandalized the house. You want her to pay for the damage that she did in the house. Ms. Martinez said she did not vandalize the house, and she is counterclaiming. She said she wants damages because during the course of this argument, you assaulted her, right?
Yes.
When did you move in and why, Ms. Martinez?
I was persuaded by Stephanie to...
No, listen. When did you move in?
In September of '04.
Who did you move in with?
with my son's father, my fiancé at the time.
And what about your son?
He was with me as well.
What, did you have a room or an apartment?
It was a room.
Okay. When did you start to pay rent?
Immediately.
How much did you pay?
I paid $400 a month.
So far, is that right?
No.
No. When did she move in?
She moved in around September, like she said, but actually the first month that she moved in with Hugo, I didn't charge her. Because I'm the godmother of her son, I said, I'll do you the favor and you don't have to pay for the first month. And she gets public assistance, and I have a letter here that I was getting $141.50 twice a month for Emily staying there.
Were you getting welfare in September of 2004?
No. When I moved in with her, I moved in with my fiancé. We separated, and that's when I was out of work and I applied for public assistance.
Were they paying the rent?
Not initially. Initially,
when did they start paying the rent?
Around November.
All right, good. So they paid the rent, $283.
I paid the difference.
Show me proof.
I don't have proof because
we
were best friends.
Did she pay any additional rent? She says you didn't give her additional money and that all she got for the room was $283 that she got from public assistance.
Yes.
Okay, keep going. What was the argument about and when did it occur?
Okay, it all started when she was no longer with Hugo. Hugo decided that he was going to move out. Her and Hugo broke up. She started dating this other guy named Fred, okay? My nephew let Hugo in the house while she was in the room with Fred. A whole thing started where Fred tried to stab Hugo, and Hugo had to jump out of the window. So I told her after that argument that, you know, this has to stop. The police came. I said, you know, I don't want this drama in my house.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you why. I'm really comfortable.
How so?
If you're quiet, I'm going to explain it to you. And I want you to understand there's only one attitude in this room.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Stephanie Feldman says her ex-best friend, Emily Martinez, vandalized the inside of her home. Emily is countersuing for an assault and the return of her security deposit.
Okay, when did she finally move out?
April 7th, that was the 30-day. The first argument was on March 7th when I was speaking to my nephew about not shoveling. That's his responsibility to do. And she got into the argument. I said, Emily, please mind your business, and she wouldn't. So that's when I had asked her to leave. I said, if you're going to get into my family business...
That's when she claims you slapped her. Did you slap her?
No.
What'd
she
you
went
do?
to go hit me on the entrance door by her room, and I moved her hand out of the way out of self-defense. I'm going to see somebody hitting me and stand there.
Okay. Were you injured?
Yes.
Well, tell me about the injury.
Okay, she was in a violent rage. She is very violent. She has violent outbreaks towards
You
her
couldn't have moved
father.
in with her if she was violent.
Well, I didn't realize that. You don't know these things till you move in with people. You never know someone till you live with them.
Show me pictures of your injuries.
I don't have any pictures.
Do you have a police report about your injuries?
No, I don't.
All right. Could you get to the vandalism of the property, please? She moved out April 7th.
Yes. I was at work because I'm a supervisor in the after school. My father and my nephew were home.
Father?
Yes.
Could you step up, please? What is your last name, sir?
Feldman.
Mr. Feldman, were you home on or about the 7th of April when Miss Martinez came in to get the remainder of her things?
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
She took her stuff and she left.
And then what happened?
My grandson and I left, and when we came back, the back room was destroyed.
You have photographs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I see it, please?
And there's also photographs on the back as well. And that also has photographs of the meat that was planted in my apartment.
What is this pink stuff that was spilled all over the place?
That was the pink paint that she used. As you could see, it's the same color of the room. That pink paint was in Emily's possession, was never in my possession.
You also said that somebody put stuffed food around the house.
Yes. That day, when I walked in, I noticed a foul odor in my bedroom. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but I had people over, so I wasn't going to start searching all over. And the next day, I found chopped meat in my heater system, fish under my bed. That's what you see in the pictures. Chopped meat and pig's legs all over the house, behind my fridge, behind my bed wall.
Anybody else have access to the house?
Only the people that live with me, which is my dad, my nephew, and Millie, who is my godmother.
Go ahead.
Okay. She has an open house. She has a party house.
First, let's go with the pink paint.
Okay. I mean, that was planted after I left. This is all a retaliation because I called the police on her because she attacked me. And she told me I had to have my stuff out by a certain day. I removed it.
Wait a second. Wait. She didn't attack you. You said she slapped you.
She was attacking me.
You said she slapped you, is what you said.
That's all she got in because I was...
Listen to me. You still vandalized the house.
That's
allegedly. What's
allegedly.
the boyfriend's name?
Fred.
Fred. You or Fred.
Allegedly.
No, I have to make a decision whether that happened.
How is the evidence? Where's the evidence that I did that? She has an open house. Her door's never locked. There's guys coming in and out of her apartment all hours of the night.
Ms. Martinez, let me tell you why. I'm really comfortable, really comfortable finding that you vandalized the house.
How so?
If you're quiet, I'm going to explain it to you. And I want you to understand there's only one attitude in this room.
I'm not trying to have an attitude.
Good.
I just don't like being accused.
So I'm going to explain it to you because how long have you lived in this house?
That's been in my family for 50 years. I've been there all my life.
Shh. Listen to me. Listen to me. How many times have you found chopped meat in the heater system?
Not at all.
Never?
No.
Mr. Feldman, how many times have you found chopped meat in the heating system in the last 50 years?
Never.
How many times have you found paint spilled on the floor?
Never.
In 50 years?
Never.
So the only time...
Listen
to me. I'm speaking now. You asked me for a reason. I'm giving you the reason. I'm being nice to you. The world revolves around common sense.
Absolutely.
If it doesn't make sense, it's not true. If it makes sense, then more often than not, it's true. Now, she's had, according to you, an open house. Lots of people come in and out of the house. Mr. Feldman has lived there for 50 years. I'm sure he's had lots of people in and out of the house. It is too coincidental, and it belies credulity, which means it just doesn't make sense, that in the last 50 years, the only time that they've had trouble with vandalism in their house to this extent, in a room where you and Fred and Hugo had been living, and the only time she had meat found in the heating system is the day you moved out.
This is a case of single white female. She wants to be me. The problem was that I had a boyfriend and she wanted me to be hanging out with her every day. I had to be by her side every day.
Listen to me.
She has a serious psychological problem, and this is a retaliation against me.
Then you should have a different place to live.
I do.
In any event, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500, which is the cost of your cleanup, which is what you say. You should not have to clean up. I'm speaking. You won, so be quiet. You have a counterclaim for assault. I find that you weren't assaulted, so it's dismissed. Thank you very much.
Party judge. This is Reed. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. And have a seat.
Mr. Burkhart, you and Miss Reed had a relationship and you have a child together. Is that right?
Yes, 5-year-old Michaela.
Your complaint alleges that you made 2 loans to Miss Reed over a year ago. And in addition to that, she took out a small amount of money, $100 and some odd from a bank account that she should not have, also over a year ago. So far correct?
So far correct.
That you did not pursue this matter during the past year because there were open criminal charges against you for assaulting Miss Reed. You wanted to wait until that case had been resolved before you pursued these loans.
Yes, ma'am.
You were, several weeks ago, convicted after a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Of assaulting Miss Reed. And now that that has been resolved, you want your money.
Yes.
Miss Reed says that that money was given to her in lieu of child support, and you are currently thousands of dollars in arrears on your child support. One was for college tuition, $975, and one was for rent, $400 for rent. Is that right?
Yes.
Miss Reed. And that she did close out a bank account. The bank account was in her name.
Yes.
So she had the right to close it out. And you are still thousands of dollars in arrears in child support. That's your defense?
Yes.
When was the first alleged loan, Mr. Burkhart?
Back in March of '04.
What was it for?
She came to me and asked me for help. She was taking college courses, and as you know, when you go to college, if you're only taking a single course, you're not eligible for TAP or Pell. So she needed the money for the college course. And then a month later, she needed money for the rent, and I said, that's fine too. You know, I would help her out with that I would loan her the money for that.
And that's really what you're suing for, as far as the loans are concerned.
Well, yeah, and the 192, I was a trustee. See, I'm disabled, and we wanted to set up a bank account so our daughter Michaela could get the money. Then she found out that I had by accident, $18,000 of disability, a Social Security disability that I got put into that account by mistake because I was a trustee. They seen my name. So one day I get this call. She's crying about, oh, you got $18,000. Why wasn't I given any of this? It was my disability. It had nothing to do with hers. As far as this money being towards support, if you look at the support...
Just a second.
Okay.
She took $192.
She closed the account out. That's what the balance was when she closed it.
And when was the last time you lived together?
It was around the year 2000. Because Michaela was born, and 6 months later she attacked me. I had just had my knee replaced, and I asked her to leave because we weren't getting along. She was getting too violent.
I didn't ask you to go into that. I'm really not interested. 2000.
Yeah.
And has your daughter remained in Miss Reed's custody since?
No.
She was in your custody or in somebody else's custody?
In my custody for 4 years. I had her from Sunday to Friday, and then most of the weekends that she would go out with other people.
Okay, and she would go with her mother?
For the weekend.
For the weekend?
Yes.
Now, was that pursuant to a court order?
No, that was just, she was working, I was disabled, so it was convenient. So for 4 years I did that.
Until when?
Until last year around, it was like June or July. She took me to court for support, and the judge said, I can't give you support. He's got her from Sunday to Friday.
June or July of last year, 2004?
Right. So when she
when
found
was this
out,
alleged assault? When was the assault?
that was over a year ago, about a year.
When?
That was around a little after March, a little after...
March of 04?
04.
So right after these two loans or right before these two loans?
No, it was before. The assault was after the loans.
Assault was after the loans?
Right.
But up until June of 04, Michaela was with you?
Yes.
Even after the assault?
Yes. Until she found out she couldn't get support. And when she found out she couldn't get support, the judge said, no, he's with her. Within 10 days, she took my daughter, and I haven't had her back since.
When did the court enter an order of support, Mr. Burkhart?
Around September or October, then she was granted support because then she had my daughter.
May I see the order, please? As of April 2005, sir, the court found you in arrears of $2,116.
Right, and that was because I didn't bring proof of financial, because I'm disabled. I only get $1,300 a month. So they gave an as-needs, and you're a family court judge. You know what an as-needs is, right? When you don't provide financial
Was that
proof.
order ever modified?
We're going back on the 17th of June.
My question is, was the order ever modified?
The original order was.
This order of arrears.
I don't know. All I can tell you is the original order was $61.
The net due, as of this month,
right,
is $3,255.48.
Right. That will be corrected.
I don't know if it's going to be corrected or not. I have no idea if it's going to be corrected, but right now that's what you owe.
Right.
Well, if that's what you owe, sir, why do you think that I would even entertain a case against her for $1,200?
First of all, she lied to you about this being part of child support. How could I loan her something a year and a half ago or a year ago and base it on child support when there was no child support in effect at that time? So that tells you she's lying.
No, just a second.
Yeah.
No, she's not lying, Mr. Burkhart.
Yes, she is.
What? I get the last word.
Okay.
What she said was you were not paying her child support. She didn't say there was a child support order in effect a year and a half ago. She said you were not paying her child support.
But I was giving her money. There's other money that I'd given her.
What's the nature of your current disability?
My knee and my back.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a special ed teacher.
You have other children?
I have a 17-year-old.
Does that child receive any disability from your Social Security disability?
They get $75 each.
What amount is the order of support, by the way?
I think it's $289 a month, which on a $1,300 income is not quite feasible.
There is work, sir, that you could do that doesn't involve you moving around.
And what might that be?
Well, let me ask you this question, Mr. Burkhart. How did you come to California?
On a plane.
And you sat for 5 hours?
Well, yeah, I got up, walked around.
Same way you could sit in your house and do telemarketing.
I probably could.
You can do a lot of things sitting at a desk that don't require... I'm
the
speaking,
legal
I'm
matters.
speaking,
okay,
sir.
Excuse me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Somebody who can sit on a plane for 5.5 hours from New York to California can get a different kind of a job that doesn't require him using his knee.
And later today...
You only called her the B word, that's it? Well, is that a nice name, William?
Nope.
Why did you call her a nasty name?
Because she called me the F-word.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Roland Burghardt says the mother of his child, Starla Reed, owes for 2 unpaid loans. Starla claims Roland is a deadbeat dad.
How old are you, sir?
53.
53. Well, you have a 5-year-old daughter. You've decided to make a child when you should have been having grandchildren. That's something that you do when you have children to support.
I have a 17-year-old, too.
Listen to me, sir.
All right.
That's something that you have to do. $289 a month support is not a lot of money. It's certainly not half a child's support.
When you're only getting $1,300, that's quite a bit.
That's why you have to get a job,
Unfortunately,
sir.
I'm not allowed to work because of the doctor.
No, you're not allowed to work, sir, because you're getting disability.
Right. Well, until it's done. When the doctor gives me an okay to go back to work, I'll go back to work.
And all I'm saying to you, sir, is that there are things that you can do that don't require you doing anything physical, and that sometimes you have to modify a course in life.
All right.
That's not a joke. I mean, you can either get this federal welfare for disability. There are people who are really legitimately disabled, who can't move, who really can't move. Somebody who can sit on a plane for 5.5 hours from New York to California to try a case can get a different kind of a job that doesn't require him using his knee. Do you understand what I'm saying? And $289 is not a lot of money. And if the reason you were watching your daughter for 4 years is because you weren't working, which is what you told me, right?
Yes.
I'm telling you that you should get a job.
Yes, I will.
Get a
as soon
job.
as I'm done.
Good. Good. And, sir, I'm going to dismiss your case without prejudice for the following reason. I am not doing a set-off with the money that you allegedly owe Miss Reed for child support. In the event that your arrears are modified to 0, you have leave to get back on the plane and come back from New York and seek this $1,200. However, if the court sees fit to leave the arrears intact, she doesn't owe you a dime. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, the court says he has visitation with my daughter, but she can't spend the night there because his house is unstable for a child to be there.
Eventually, I'm probably going to go to jail because I'm not giving her anything.
They found drug paraphernalia in his house. They found rats in his house.
I have snorted coke for quite a few years. It's good enough for Sigmund Freud.
He is able to get money from the state of New York for his disability, so he's faking that he has money.
You got a mother and father that can't stand each other, and you got a 5-year-old that's in between, and that's the toughest thing that we have to watch out, that we don't hurt Michaela because we don't like each other.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Woodworth versus Rubio Robles. Step forward, please.
Tiffany Woodward is suing the parents of her son's friend, Reynaldo Rubio and Julia Robles, for the cost of the boy's glasses. Tiffany claims 11-year-old Ida Rubio smashed them.
Miss Woodworth, this is your son. He's
Yes,
7.
Yes, it is.
And Miss Robles, Mr. Rubio, this is your daughter. She's 11.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, these 2 young children play with each other. And for the 3rd time, this little girl broke your son's eyeglasses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want Mr. Rubio and Miss Robles to pay for the glasses this
Yes.
time because you can't get him new glasses. Your insurance doesn't cover the cost. All right. Why don't you stand up there next to your mom and dad? Tell me your name.
Ida.
You want to come up here and talk to me?
Sure.
Good.
Thank you.
Is this young man your friend?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you remember the last time his glasses got broken?
No.
Don't know anything about how his glasses got broken.
The first other 2 times, I didn't know, but this time, I didn't break them.
Well, what happened this time?
We were playing, and
Look at me.
We were playing, and he would call me names, and I would tell him names back. He pushed me, and so I pushed him back. He had hit the brick wall, and his glasses had fell. I think he stepped on them, or the lens popped out by himself, because I didn't step on them.
Okay. You can go back down.
Okay.
Okay, William. Hello.
Hi.
Is Ida your friend?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about how your glasses got broken.
Ida, she pushed me.
Ida pushed you?
Yeah.
Did you call, just a second.
Then, I pushed her back, then she pushed me against the brick wall. Then they fell and then she stomped on them.
Were you calling her any names?
I only called her the B word, that's it.
You only called her the B word, that's it? Well, is that a nice name, William?
Nope.
Why did you call her a nasty name?
Because she called me the F word.
Who called who a name first?
Ida. She called
Ida
me a name first.
So after Ida called you a name, and then you called her a name, who pushed who first?
Ida, she pushed me first.
And then you pushed her back?
Then she pushed me again. Then they fell off my face and she stomped on them.
You've had a couple of pair of glasses break before, is that right, William?
It's not 3, it's 4. It's 4 times she did it.
How did she do it?
Because the last 3 times she punched me in the face and broke them in half. Then the last time she stomped on them.
But you keep playing with Ida. How come?
I don't know. We just keep on fighting them friends.
First you fight and then you're friends again?
Yeah, every time.
Why don't you go and sit down over there? The first couple of times that William told you that Ida had broken his glasses, did you call her parents?
I lived right next to them. I spoke with them.
Did Mrs. Woodworth speak to you about what happened with Ida?
I don't even recall the first 2 times. I don't remember.
Well, then if she says it happened and you say you don't remember, then it happened.
Well, do you remember?
It never was brought up to my attention about breaking glasses.
What did you tell them?
Well, my husband and I had both asked you if you would speak to Ida, and you guys had spoke to her. You know, my husband and I understand kids will be kids, but after so many times, I can't afford to pay for them, and the insurance won't cover for them anymore.
I got it. Now, Ida, I'm going to see you back here again, right here. Ida, you know what my job is?
Yeah.
What do you think my job is? Come on. You're 11 years old. You know, you're a big girl.
Yeah, but I don't really...
Well, my job is to make sure that I find out what the truth is. That's my job. And I don't think that you've told me the whole truth, Ida. And I've been a judge a very long time. So when you come to court, and Officer Byrd says to you, pick up your hand and you swear to tell the truth, and you say, yes, you have to tell the truth. Not stories that you've told your parents, not stories that you told anybody else, but when you're in court, you have to tell the truth. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, it's my job to figure out if people tell the truth. And I think he's telling me the truth. I think that you've broken his glasses a couple of times. Is there any reason why you did that? Look at me. Don't look over there. Look at me. Is there any reason why you broke his glasses a couple of times?
Yes, because he gets me mad. He'll call me names and stuff like that.
Well, he can call you names, and do you call him names?
Yes.
Does he break things of yours?
No.
Then why do you break his glasses? Because you get mad?
Well, he'd push me and I'd push him back, but they never broke. Because I never hit him in the face.
Did you ever take off his glasses and break them in two?
No. They could fall and the lens could pop out, or they can accidentally get stepped on if they fall.
They can accidentally get stepped on. They can also get stepped on purpose. You could accidentally step on them, right?
Right.
Go back to your parents. Mrs. Robles, your husband clearly doesn't recall being spoken to by Miss Woodworth about your daughter. You claim not to recall. So I credit her testimony that she did, in fact, speak to you in the past. And I believe that your daughter broke his glasses and stepped on them just as he said that he did. His testimony was direct and straightforward and honest, that they were calling each other names, they pushed each other. Well, that's possible, and once he gets pushed and she gets pushed, I don't have a problem with that, even though kids aren't supposed to touch each other. But I believe him when he says that once the glasses fell off, she stomped on them because she got mad. She's not telling me the truth. And she didn't tell you the truth if that's what she told you.
So the first 2 times you believe that she broke them in half?
I believe that she broke his glasses before.
Oh, okay.
And I believe that his mother spoke to you about it before. You may not remember.
I don't recall that.
The glasses are $160?
Yes, they are.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $160. I'd have a discussion with her. She's got to learn about truth-telling. That's all.